Okay.
Doesn't come barreling in and talk about his trip to the... Bye. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mike and Mohammed. It's just me and Captain Jeff, who is going to be quiet for a bit because he's busy working on some stuff for the show. So he's busy. Captain Nick is here. He's just stepped away for a minute, but he'll be back shortly. And Dr. Steph will be joining us after she finishes work. And unfortunately, Nick C. is very busy this week, so he couldn't join us. And Rick is, I believe, off in Asia. The last time I saw a post from him, he was somewhere over Laos or somewhere there, flying.
Laos.
Laos.
It's a lousy
He was having a
place.
lousy fly. A lousy trip. A lousy trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get him back on at some point, but...
Here's a breaking news alert for everybody that's in the chat room right now, which probably aren't too many. We're not going to start the show right on time.
That'll be such a change. He's back. Good, that's good. Yes, this is not PTUK, so like we don't.
Nope.
We don't keep.
We started the stream on time, and that's the only thing that we're going to guarantee.
Right. We try to do that.
But as far as the show start, nah.
Nah, we got stuff to do.
It's highly overrated, in our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I play this, Liz, let me know if you can hear this.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
No, sir.
Okay, good.
Did not.
I'm back.
Yeah, it'd be great
Welcome
if you
back.
could come to Iraq. Do you ever see 747s from that? Oh, there's Tim Van Ram. From Acme Giant there, which is really Atlas Airlines, Atlas, seeing as we're not recording yet.
And nobody can access this file from the public. Oh, I guess they can. I keep looking at the wrong camera. This is not the camera that I'm going to be using for the show. This is the laptop camera. I'm going to switch it, but
Okay.
I had to. I
You just got too much
ran
going
out,
on there.
I ran out of ports, so I had to unplug the camera.
No ports in a storm?
Yeah, sad.
I like a glass of port.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, you and Jeff can get into that Guinness and port thing when he's over there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, that'll be dangerous. Should
Well.
not do that.
Very dangerous.
You'll do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, very nice. Where'd you get that?
Neville bought it for me, but this is in honor of the one that Jeff is bringing over.
Oh, I see.
Wait, now I have to look and see what you guys are doing. Oh, yeah, the hat.
His hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just bought two of those, one for me and one for Nick. But then I asked him if he had one, and he said yes. I went, no. Just like not even an hour ago, I hit buy.
Ah,
Oh,
Liz, do you want one?
yeah.
sure. Just hang on to it. I'll get it from you when I see you. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. Actually, ask Nixie or somebody who's more into. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd
Nixie
I'd take
likes
it,
to
but
wear-
Nixie
I
would
don't know.
probably be a good destination for it. Although he's into the NASCAR, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure he'd want to wear a Mercedes hat. We'll find out.
It's really funny. It's not funny, but my father
Darn it.
started to buy Mercedes later in life, but because he had fought in World War II, he really struggled with whether he's going to buy a German car or not.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
He really
Yeah.
admired the engineering and he wanted the car, but it took him a little bit. He got over it. He bought the cars, but
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, Pop, we lived in Berlin for a few
yes,
years.
I know you did. Yeah,
So, a bit hard to avoid
right.
things like buying Mercedes. But
Yeah, no kidding.
Sounds like a sad excuse to me.
Yeah, really.
yeah, I know. But we called our Mercedes Auntie. So that
Yeah.
perhaps
Oh, I see.
was, offset it a little bit. You
I
can't
actually went to
imagine, Auntie committing war crimes, can you?
No, not really. Oh, there's Micah on the New York State Thruway. Be careful, Micah. Driving through all that smoke.
Oh, nobody's trying to talk to me about something because I'm just listening to Radio Roger.
No, not talking to you at all.
Okay.
We're not talking to you.
Why would we want to talk to you?
I don't know. Good question.
We get enough of that during the show.
I've noticed my glasses seem to be a little reflective. So I've got the hat on, so I can't see reflection.
Just keep looking down.
I could just take them off, actually, do the show without them.
Can you read without them on?
Yeah, well, I've got big print, I guess.
I guess.
Ah, I see what you mean, Liz.
Yeah. I didn't explain it very well, but
No. And I like the little thing you put in there.
yes, the audio clip. Yeah, that's interesting, Tim. I guess once you were in that conflict, it was kind of anyway. Yeah. I know I have a good friend who is Australian, and oh boy, she just disliked Japanese people so much. And I mean, she was a lot older than I am, and she was, alive during the war, and her brother had fought the Japanese during the war, so she just had a lot of...
Yeah, very hard to forgive a country that's committed so many appalling acts. So, yeah, I quite understand that.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Jeff sounds like he's actually getting things done.
Render. Preset.
Do you have an early match tomorrow, Nick?
No.
Do you have to be up and out?
Noon.
Early? No. Oh, noon. Okay.
Noon,
Not tomorrow.
so I should be all right. Jill is walking the dogs in the morning, so...
Now, is it Friday you said that Carol arrives?
Yep.
What time does she get?
Oh, actually, I haven't got a match at all tomorrow. We're going shopping.
Oh, okay.
We're going shopping tomorrow.
Got it.
Friday is my noonday national singles match. And then Carol arrives in the afternoon, so Jilly's going off to the airport to pick her up.
Got it. So is she actually just flying right in from Australia that afternoon?
No, she's currently up in the Midlands with
got it.
my brother.
Got it. Okay, so she's
So
making
she's
the
just
rounds
gonna-
of the
Oh,
Andersons.
brother.
Yeah, exactly right. Brother, where art thou? Isn't that the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, brother, where?
Where art thou?
Oh, yeah. I love the music in that movie, all that
Yes.
banjo picking and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
love banjo
Airline
music.
Pilot Guy, episode 573.
A little quiet.
Yeah. Not sure why that happened.
Is it 573 this week?
Correct.
Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, I know
cool.
why. I know why. It's
Oh,
not
by
the
the way, what
correct
do you think of
file.
the T-shirt?
Delete. Damn it, Jim. Radio Roger 573. That's the one I want.
there you got your shipping news on.
Yes, my shipping forecast T-shirt.
Forecast, I mean, yeah.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the airline pilot guy.
Airline Pilot Guy,
I'd say
episode 573.
you could turn it up a little bit, just not much.
Like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy show, the view from our side of the cockpit door.
All right. Think I got it.
Give me a shout when you want me to.
Yes, we'll wake you up.
Please. It's only a little after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, but we're old now, Jeff, you know?
Yeah, I normally go to bed at night.
We old people go to bed early and stuff, you know.
Yeah. And listen to my audiobook for half an hour.
What are you listening to these days?
Currently, I'm listening to Mr. Hamilton's third volume of a big story. In this one is called The Naked God.
Interesting.
It's a science fiction writer. Well, he is a science fiction writer.
Yeah, I've never gotten into science fiction, but yeah, Mohammed, I can understand how that would be the case. He said his father-in-law doesn't like American things. Well,
Yeah, well,
given
we've
what
all
you've
got
been
our-
through there, I can kind of understand, I guess.
Yeah, A lot of people in India don't like the British.
I agree, Tim. I think that bluegrass music really came to the fore in that movie.
I don't like the British either.
Well, I can't blame you.
We'll get
I
around to
don't-
that when we get together.
Being an Australian, I don't have much fondness for them either.
Shh, Jeff, you're not supposed to say that before you stay at Nick's place.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
What I
all
meant
right.
to say,
It's
I think you
okay.
took that the wrong way. I didn't really mean that at all.
Quite
You,
right.
you don't
I
like the
quite
British being criticized, is what you meant to say.
Exactly. I don't like people like dissing my good friends, the Brits,
Disemboweling the British.
disemboweling them.
Exactly.
Where's my control for this link controller? Here we go to. Let's zoom it in so you can really get a good idea of what I look like.
Oh boy.
Oh, please, no. Save us.
You still have your tonsils there, do you, Jeff?
Actually, Mike Kuipers is going to be hunting for that moment. And he's going to put it
yeah,
up on
great.
YouTube.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's why he's always one of the first ones here. He doesn't want to miss anything.
No.
Embarrassing.
Anything incriminating or embarrassing, he's looking for it.
Well, mind you, that's a strong beer.
So I
Oh, it's 6.5%. Okay, that's
think.
reasonably strong.
Okay.
So how are the levels? Anybody saying anything about that yet?
They couldn't give two hoots.
Okay.
Come on, you lot. Wake up.
So the sound engineers have not arrived.
Well,
then.
Mike
Let's
is
see.
on the road, so he might not be able to respond. Mike,
Get out of the
Kuipers-
road.
Mike Kuipers or Tim Van Ram or
I'm glad. That's
Timmy,
why I
baby.
like Captain
Come on,
Nick, 'cause
Timmy, baby.
He laughs at my
Level is
jokes.
good.
level's good. Tim Van
Okay.
Ram. We've
Okay.
been
Thank you, Timmy.
only
Thank you,
trying
Timmy.
to take nice pictures. Mike Kuiper says, "Yeah, define nice."
Sure.
Pardon me.
No,
Oh,
Jeff,
just
do you have a libation or something?
I do.
Oh, okay, good.
I can't wait to show you.
Oh,
My, hang on.
okay.
I meant to put a doggy picture in my list of pictures. Media play, is that the one I want? No. I want that one. And then I want... That's not...
I don't know. Jeff's having a bad time there or something. I don't know what's going
I
on. there.
think he's got an upset stomach.
Oh, is that it? Oh, Micah says you guys sound remarkably good. Oh,
Oh, right.
very good.
Oh my God. Julie's off to bed. She's let Zeta into the room now.
Oh, I said it. What was all that moaning and groaning about there, Jeff?
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't hear that.
No, you heard it.
Well, apparently this can of beer
Yeah.
that I'm about to show you had something sticky on the bottom of it, and so I reached to grab it out of there, and it like stuck to the
Oh,
shelf, and then it knocked over. So I haven't opened it yet, and it's
it's
I
going
have
to go. Okay, yeah,
I have some paper towels.
I understand.
But so just right around the corner here, on the way to all the wonderful historic Roswell bars and restaurants and that kind of thing, is a brewing company called Variant. And it makes a beer there that I just absolutely love. It's called Cashmere. They use cashmere hops. And so I had...
Is it very smooth like cashmere?
It is very smooth, yes. And
Oh,
so I said, do you have any cans that I can purchase? And they said, we have a growler. And I
oh
went,
yeah, growler, yeah.
But it's like a can. Let me show you.
A growler. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, it's like a huge can.
Whoa.
It's
How many ounces is that?
1 quart, 32 ounces.
Oh, that's a reasonable sized beer.
So I mean, I'm
Because
figuring,
you guys normally drink from little pints, don't you?
so,
Little
yeah, well, Nick probably
American
drinks
pint.
like 2 or 3 of these equivalent every day. So I'm thinking, okay. So
Way to go.
here we go. I'm going to open this thing up
Okay.
and see how bad it is.
Hopefully it's not going to splash all over your equipment or anything.
Oh,
I'm not quite sure I was going to get his
Oh.
equipment in the way.
woo! A little cold on
Of
the
your equipment.
All right, so and then I'm going to use the glass
Oh, very
from
nice.
the Circus Hostel Brewing
Oh, yes,
Company,
from
Oh, right.
Tillman.
Okay. The everlasting glass.
which I have not used yet in Berlin. But we were just talking
In
about
anger.
Berlin, weren't we?
I tell you, it works very well.
That's
Good
quite
girl,
a
Zeta.
quite a nice bit of head there.
Nice
Oh,
head,
my
yeah.
God.
Hmm.
You've overdone the head a little bit, Holt.
Well, I know. It's
But
probably
then
still.
again, you can
I was
never
gonna
have
say,
too
yeah,
much head.
that's from
That's
it
what I
turning
say.
That's what I say.
Do, 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 do.
We're talking about foam here. What do you, get your mind out of the gutter.
Tim Van Ram says you might have to pee after drinking that can of suds.
I already have to pee, and I haven't even started the show yet.
All right, are we getting close, gang?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Okay.
I hope so.
Shut
It's
up.
going to be my bedtime before we kick off.
Ah,
So, which background do we prefer?
I like
Zeta?
I like
Or
Zeta. I
The
like-
Flags of Doom?
I prefer Zeta. You can use that other one as the arrival of you know who gets closer.
There you go.
Zeta amongst the daisies.
There she is.
Look at those ears are flying.
Yeah, she loves that. She belts around at a hell
Now
of a
is she
rate. I tell you.
calming down a bit or
Yeah,
getting a
a
little
little
better
bit.
behaved?
Yeah, she's
Good,
doing
good,
all right
Good
now.
girl. Good girl.
A great improvement, in fact.
How old is she now, Nick? How old is she?
Well, 2.5 now, I guess.
Okay. Because I've noticed Poppy is much calmer. She'll be 3 in August, and she's definitely calmer than she used to.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yes, I'm talking
Don't
about
eat
you.
the toys, Ada. What are you doing?
Okay, well, we got the Skype thing running still,
Yes, sir.
which is good. And
Just rescued a rat.
oh,
Oh my! Oh yes.
that looks so
Is that
realistic.
one of her favorite toys? Look out, Jeff! He's going to put that in your bed when you sleep.
Yes, that's a good idea. Hadn't thought of
No,
that
it's
till you mentioned it.
Now you've ruined it.
Thank you, Tim
Okay.
Van Ram. Recorder's on.
Oh, good point. Well done, Tim.
Mine actually is, believe it or not.
Wow.
I have got a
And-
recording from last week that was 22 hours long. Oh, no, 13 hours 51.
Ah, that's
I
it.
think I'm going to delete that.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
How?
smooth.
Let's see. We said the volumes are good. Let's
Yeah,
just check
they're good.
again.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
Sounds good.
New York City!
Oh yeah. Yep.
Kind of loud, or is it okay?
Oh, sounds good.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Can cope with that.
It's all coming together, Jeff.
She'll cope with that. Cope, like you cope with me. In this stupid show.
Oh boy, he's in a
Only
mood.
just. Only just.
Just down some
That's
of that
it.
beer.
I'm calling the whole damn trip off.
Down some of that beer and mellow out, will you, Jeff?
Okay. I'll probably feel better. Hang on.
Yeah. I'll give you a crafty old hen.
I've already had one of those in my life.
Are you talking about? No, I'm not going to say that.
No, my lovely wife.
No,
And
thought he was
I'm
talking
not even
about
going to say former wife because she's still my wife. She's lovely. She's a beautiful person. She's pretty to look at as well. So I would never say that she was a. Oh, what happened? My microphone just dropped.
Oh, that's sort of a supernatural thing.
Drop the
going on.
mic.
Sorry, honey. I think I heard some echoing.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go.
Are we ready?
I think we're just about ready to go. Let me get my script. Oh, I already have the script. It's right in front of me. Okay. I think we're ready. We're recording, and just to double check, yes, we are. Okay. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
Take it away, Roger.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG, it's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 573.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show, the view from our side of the cockpit door. With your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from Studio 1A at APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded on the 7th of June, 2023.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Put your light and it's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, pilots scold ATC after 2 ordered go-arounds.
This is unacceptable. Come on, well, let's not do this again.
The FAA loosens rules for pilots taking a popular antidepressant. More news and your feedback, so get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and lock positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 573 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger Stern, an award-winning TV and radio reporter currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in
New York City!
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, a pilot at a major legacy airline based in the U.S. of A. And joining us from his studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
professional photographer, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hi there, Jeff. And as you see, I'm wearing my Mercedes hat in honor of Mercedes getting on the podium with both their drivers the last race. Well done, guys.
Well done, Mercedes. All right. And also joining us from our studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer, it's Liz Piper.
Hi, everybody, from a smoky Toronto.
Smoking Toronto.
Yes, smoking hot.
Smoking hot. I guess they got some
You
fires
do know
going
it's
on there.
bad for your health, Toronto.
I know, it is very bad for our
You'd
our
think
health.
that the Canadians would know something about
Yeah, I know.
healthy
Yeah.
lifestyles.
Nah.
They're back.
We're just drinking beer and eating
woodsmen.
poutine.
Ooh, I love poutine. All right.
Have a good show,
Well,
you guys.
thanks, Liz. All right,
Isn't
let's move
Putin,
over.
doesn't he run Russia or something?
No, not that poutine.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's not the Vladimir poutine. It's the French
version.
fries and gravy poutine. I can hear you. Yes. Uh-huh. All right. Let's do some news.
Stand by for news.
All right. Our first item in our news is from the NewYorkTimes.com. A sonic boom was heard across the D.C., District of Columbia area. That was from military jets, officials say. The noise, which startled residents and shook buildings, was caused by an authorized military flight that responded to an intrusion into restricted airspace, U.S. military officials said. A loud noise that was heard across much of the Washington, D.C. area on Sunday afternoon was caused by the sonic boom from the F-16 scrambling to respond to the intrusion into restricted airspace by a private flight. Here, let me see. Is there another way that I can say this? Maybe change a few of the words and the order of the sentences around and basically say the same thing? I'm sure there probably is. Let me look here on my... Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to skip any of that kind of stuff and say that 2 fighter jets were sent from Joint Base Andrews. Okay, here's another way to say it. After a Cessna entered the restricted airspace, prompting the emergency response to intercept the flight, the private aircraft's owner said in a telephone interview that 4 people, including his daughter and granddaughter, were on the plane and that the wreckage had not yet been found. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, which oversees aerospace control over the United States and Canada, said in a statement that 2 F-16s were deployed after the Cessna 560 Citation 5 flew over Washington and Northern Virginia. Okay, I think that's, if we're keeping tally here of the paragraphs, that's the fifth paragraph that has said essentially the same thing. We do apologize. NORAD said that the fighter jets were authorized to travel at supersonic speeds, which would have produced the boom that was heard in the region and by some reports was noticed as far as the suburbs of Virginia and Maryland. The NORAD aircraft also used flares that may have been visible from the ground, the agency said, in an attempt to draw attention from the pilot. After the Cessna veered into the restricted area, which includes important national landmarks, the FAA called the pilot but received no response from the plane, and the military ordered the jets to intercept. Officials later determined that the Cessna plane did not pose a threat, and the investigation will look into why the pilot did not respond to the FAA, or Air Traffic Control. The Cessna was not shot down, the official said. A White House official said President Biden, or whatever his name is, was briefed on the incident. The Cessna crashed near the George Washington National Forest in Virginia, though an earlier statement from the FAA said it crashed into mountainous terrain in a sparsely populated area in southwest Virginia, near Montebello, around 3:30 p.m. local time. Now, if our airline pilots out there listening, and maybe some other pilots as well, familiar with that area, that's Montebello, VOR, VORTAC, MOL. Virginia State Police said on Sunday evening that search efforts for the wreckage and its passengers were underway near the Blue Ridge Parkway and Staunton, Virginia. Stanton? Oh, do they? Oh, okay. How did you know that, Liz? Oh, there's a big music festival every year. Okay. Stanton. All right. Stanton, Virginia. Let's see. The aircraft, a private business jet, was owned by Encore Motors of Melbourne, a Florida-based company. Reached by phone, John Rumpel, 75, who runs the company, said that his daughter, a 2-year-old granddaughter, her nanny, and the pilot were aboard the flight. He said that they were returning home to East Hampton, New York, after a 4-day visit to his home in North Carolina. Mr. Rumpel, who is also a pilot, said that he had little information about the circumstances of the crash, but hoped that they had not suffered. His voice breaking, he said that if the plane lost pressurization, they all just would have gone to sleep and never woke up. I don't think they found the wreckage yet, he said. It descended at 20,000 feet per minute, and nobody could survive a crash from that speed. The aircraft had taken off from Elizabethton, or something like that, I think I would say Elizabethton, but that's not the right way to say it. Municipal airport in Elizabethton, Tennessee, and was bound for Long Island MacArthur Airport in, Ronkonkoma, New York? Ronkonkoma.
These are American names, Jeff.
I don't know. They don't look American to me, darn it. Let me take another swig of beer. Yeah. I think that's a good idea, Liz. Every time that I can't pronounce something or I'm not quite sure, I need to take a swig of beer or something. Ah,
yes, the famous APG drinking game.
Yeah, I like it. Shortly after the incident, people reported on social media that they had heard a loud boom in Washington, as well as in Maryland and Northern Virginia. Many said the noise sounded like an explosion. Some said the boom was so strong that it shook their homes. And of course, we've talked about this already and covered it several times. The F-16 jets that were scrambled exceeded the speed of sound, which creates a sonic boom. Okay. And we have a whole bunch of witnesses talking about the sonic boom. And, of course, that's not that important compared to the fact that we're talking about a business jet that crashed and killed 4 people. So I'm not going to talk about the booms anymore. And what I am going to do is I'm going to play first of all, it said that they heard some transmissions on liveatc.net, which I did try to find, but was unsuccessful. But the Air National Guard pilot said, if you hear this transmission, contact us. And then several minutes later, a military pilot says, you've been intercepted, contact me. and then that was it. They did get close enough to see inside the cockpit window, which was not all iced up, which you'd think it might be if it were a pressurization issue. But they were able to see that the single pilot, well, I don't know if he was married or not, but it was just the only pilot on board, was slumped over in his seat and didn't seem to be responsive. And a little bit of video here of someone who lives nearby the scene of the crash, and you can hear the sound of the Citation jet crashing in the background. So let's listen to that.
Hey,
Hey.
here we go.
No, that's the crash, Liz. That is not the sonic boom. Trust me. This is they live in Virginia near the site of the crash. The sonic boom was over in the DC area. Anyway, so that was a little startling, as you can, if you're watching the video, or if you watch the video in the link, you can see their astonished faces when they hear the explosion of the airplane impacting the ground not too far from them. So Juan Brown on Blancalirio YouTube channel talked about the fact that it looked kind of suspiciously like the Payne Stewart golfer incident of many, many years ago, the Learjet, that suffered a pressurization issue, and everybody succumbed to hypoxia and the airplane crashed. Although our friend Dan Grider, who is not doesn't have the best bedside manner, but he usually has some interesting things to say about crashes and incidents. And he mentioned that he didn't think it was a pressurization issue at all, because of the fact that the F-16 pilots could see through the windscreen of the jet and wasn't iced over or anything, and that he thought it was, and of course this is all conjecture, he thought it was the pilot having some kind of a medical event. It was an older gentleman in his 70s, maybe getting pretty close to 80, and perhaps he suffered some kind of a medical event that incapacitated him. So we're not sure yet. And the Cessna, thank you, Tim, in our live audience, talking about the fact that it's a little misleading describing the plane as merely a Cessna, leads one to think it was a Cessna 172 and not a Citation jet. But as we're showing now in the video, a picture of the Cessna Citation, what is it, like a 565 or something like that? Okay. Yeah. 650B, okay. Or 560. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know the jets well enough to be exactly sure. But anyway, so obviously the NTSB, well, maybe it's not obvious, but the NTSB is on scene and collecting data about the crash, around the crash scene, and hopefully they'll be able to kind of learn something, and we'll try to update everybody when we get that information ourselves. And now it's time for me to take another swig of beer.
Yeah, some consolation perhaps for the family to know that if it did result from a pressurization problem, because having experienced hypoxia, and those who have also done so in a training environment, it's not a bad way to fall unconscious, and ultimately it will lead to death. But it's almost a pleasant experience to drift away because you're short of oxygen. There's no nasty side effects, and in fact, you get quite euphoric. not quite so nice if the pilot had a medical condition that caused him to collapse. But we can only hope that the family takes a little bit of consolation from the fact that if it was hypoxia, that would have probably been very easy for them to, go through, perhaps.
Yep. Oh, we have some breaking news. You don't know how much this pains me. Actually, it doesn't, because we love Liz so much. And she was very persistent about arguing with me about the sound that couple heard when they were recording. And so I went back and reread just to make sure. And you know what? Darn it. Liz is correct. The couple was in Fairfax, Virginia, which is in the Washington, D.C. area, suburban area of Washington, D.C., and they were nowhere near that place where the airplane crashed. And so, sorry, I sit corrected, and this beer's for you, Liz. Thank you for attempting to set me straight, and I refused to accept what you were laying down, but now I realize you're correct.
Yeah. Once again, the producer has proved herself correct. It's time to stop resisting, Jeff.
I know. Once again, I guess I need to just completely fire her, because she's just making me look bad. Just worse and worse every.
I think
every
HR
show.
might have something to say about that.
Well, maybe. Just Liz is just trying to keep us at that 50% guarantee. No, yeah. I do apologize. I obviously misread the article, and oh well. And I was wrong. Okay, let's get over that. Boy, at this rate, if I'm going to have to take a drink every time I say something incorrect or mispronounce something, we're not going to make it the whole.
I'm looking forward to the show, though. I've got a show title already.
Oh gosh, lovely. All right. Let's continue. Oh, there's another video. I think that I have it already primed. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down a little bit on it. And if you want to add it to the stream, Liz, when I start talking about it, you're more than welcome to. This is a final report on an accident that occurred on July 22nd, 2020, involving an Ethiopian Boeing 777-200 at Shanghai, China, and the aircraft burned down on the apron. It was preparing for departure at the apron when, at about 15:57 local time, smoke was observed from the aft crown of the aircraft. Emergency services responded and extinguished the fire by about 17. I think it's the one that's right. Oh, hang on. Oh, no. Did I load the wrong one? Oh, shoot. I have to take another swig of beer, I think. Man, a good thing I have a huge can of beer. In case you just joined us, I have a 32-ounce beer. No, officer, I only had 3 cans of beer.
That's the one.
Steph's on the way home. Okay, let me snag the correct video file. Well, I could have sworn that I... No, I didn't, apparently. Okay. There it is. Okay, let me turn the volume down on it a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. As soon as I start talking again, you can go ahead and add it to the stream. Go. Okay. Smoke was observed from the aft crown of the aircraft. Emergency services responded and extinguished the fire by about 17:01 local time. No injuries are being reported. The aircraft sustained substantial damage. The aircraft had safely arrived as Flight 3738 from Brussels, Belgium, to Shanghai, Pudong, China, and had taxied to the apron at about 11:53 local time. And let's see, according to media reports in China, the final report was obtained by some media. However, it was never published and is also not available from ICAO's report database. And guess who is not happy? Simon is not happy. According to these media reports, the cause of the fire was not caused by batteries or electrical components of the aircraft. Instead, the investigation concluded the most probable cause of the accident was chlorine dioxide disinfection tablets, which, in the high temperatures and humid environment, spontaneously ignited. Apparently, it gets very, very hot there. The investigation reported the aircraft had been loaded with 69.3 tons of cargo from all over China, including 4 shipments containing lithium-ion batteries. However, upon detailed inspection, it was found that the batteries internally were intact, although showing discoloration on the outside, demonstrating that the batteries had been affected by heat or fire from the outside. At the position showing the most damage within the cargo bay, a shipment containing the chlorine dioxide tablets had been loaded. These tablets were classified as a slow nano-release cleansing material used to build a disinfection shield, I'm not sure what that means, to prevent epidemics. The tablets were thus rated dangerous goods. The local Research Institute of Chemical Industry stated the material was primarily an oxidizer and secondarily corrosive. Experiments confirmed that tablets were susceptible for spontaneous ignition at temperatures near 80 degrees Celsius in damp conditions. Again, that doesn't seem that hot to me. At the time of the accident, outside ambient temperatures had been 34 degrees C. Further experiments demonstrated the inside pallets in the cargo bay temperatures of 80 degrees, which is 176 degrees Fahrenheit, were reached in these conditions, causing condensation inside the films of the tablets. These were sufficient conditions for spontaneous combustion to occur. And then Simon goes on and basically spanks the
he loves
the Chinese.
berating these people, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not happy
No.
the way they handled the final report, published only in Chinese. So anyway, so we saw a little bit of that video of the airplane basically just being destroyed by the fire. Yeah. And Nick and I were discussing this before we started the recording today. And I thought, like 80 seems like really, really hot conditions inside a cargo bay. But Nick, you mentioned that there could be other reasons for the that.
Well, I was trying to imagine where you get a hotspot like that. But now we've read the bit where it says conditions causing condensation even. I'm going to have a drink.
Okay, good.
It sounds like the pallets might have been a bit of a heat sink in that the temperature was allowed to concentrate in there, bringing up the temperature towards 80 degrees, and then there was sufficient condensation inside to make the tablets moist. So I suspect that's a fault of the packing requirements, and the dangerous cargo boys are probably going to have to think again, or they probably have already, since this was a little while ago, a couple of years ago, on how this particular dangerous cargo is packed. They might need it to be kept cool and have some facility for that. But no, I wouldn't have imagined it easy to get to 80 degrees inside the cargo hold, unless perhaps you were parked up or put your pallet up near one of the heating vents and you were providing heating for the cargo hold. The only time we ever did that was when we were keeping live animals down there. But no, obviously it can occur.
I was thinking maybe they were somewhere up in eastern Canada where all the wildfires are, but yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yes.
Okay.
Nice try.
No, yeah, that's so true. She says that they don't use disinfectants up there, so it couldn't have been. Yeah, or deodorant. All right. Just kidding. Every time I've been around Liz, she smelled very pleasant. What now?
And her spelling wasn't bad either.
Her spelling wasn't bad either. Spelling nor smelling. Okay. Let's play the one that was teased by our Radio Roger in the intro, item C. Pardon me? Yeah, why not? Start that darn YouTube video. Real Aviation Communications. Oh my. Okay, hang on. Do I have to read this? Okay. So this is basically what what their VAS Aviation is including in their video before they actually play the recordings from liveatc.net. Somebody sent this in to VAS Aviation. I'm a longtime fan of your video, so when my flight yesterday was told to go around twice, oh, it's his flight, I figured it would make for good video on your channel. It was United 1390 from Seattle to San Francisco, which was making its first landing attempt at 2350 UTC, which would be about what, minus 7 or 8 hours before UTC. About 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. The two go-arounds were for planes on the runway, according to the PA announcement. I went to planning, overheard one of the pilots say, oh, he was actually on the flight. He wasn't in the cockpit. Okay, so they made a PA announcement saying that there was a plane on the runway. That's why they had to go around. And when deplaning, I overheard one of the pilots telling a flight attendant, I was almost cussing out ATC, just screaming at them. I listened to the live ATC recordings after I got home, and it sounds like San Francisco Tower was overeager to clear the queue of planned departures, or the queue that they had planned. They had ready for 28 left. I counted about 15 in line when we landed and was clearing them for takeoff with us too close on short final. On the second go-around is when things started to get real heated, with United 1390 giving NorCal departure and approach an earful, and them responding with basically, sorry, we're aware. This is crazy. We don't know WTF the tower is doing. What the fudge the tower is doing. And that was from their departure and approach controllers. Okay, which are two separate, areas of air traffic control. And so now we're going to continue the video, and let's hear the audio.
United 1390, join up for visual 2 left.
United 1390, San Francisco Tower, 12818, runway 28 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 28 left, United 1390.
United 2626 at Foxtrot 2, runway 28 left, line up and wait, traffic 4 out, you're going to go right out. 528 left, United 2626.
That seems doable, 4 out.
JTS 730 Tower, plan on 28 left, hold short of 28 right. Hold short of 28 right, we'll plan on 28 left, we catch us 730. Okay, City 335, turn left, echo for me, no delay off, traffic waits in position to go.
The old squeeze play.
214, one more arrival and departure, then we'll get you going.
So there was a
business jet. 26, be ready to go as soon as traffic clears downfield there. Traffic's going to be just inside of a 2-mile funnel. The wind at 28019, runway 28 left, Fox 2, clear takeoff. Clear takeoff 28 left, Fox 2, United 2626.
There's an aircraft clearing and one in position.
Cross 28 right, hold short, runway 28 left. Cross 28 right, hold short 28 left, catch us 730. Out of 1390, go around.
1390.
1390.
Is the one who receives the short stick.
Out of 1390, turn left heading 260, climb and maintain 3,100.
Set 3,100 for United 1390, runway heading.
You got it, 3,100 and a left turn to heading 260.
Left turn 260, United 1390.
I've memorized the go-around procedure here.
American 1580, cross 28 left, ground point 8.
Cross 28 left and ground point 8, American 1580.
Out of 214, cross 28 left, ground point 8. Cross 28 left, 9.8. Okay, 3421, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
28 left, line up and wait, Charlotte 3421.
United 2626, contact NorCal, we'll see you. 2626.
Hey, have a nice day.
United 1390, contact NorCal 135.1.
35.1, United 1390.
Okay, he's not quite so happy now.
He could have diffused that by just giving a little apology to them.
United 1390, back with you on the
when he
visual.
said goodbye to them.
Yep.
Yeah, 1390, San Francisco Tower, 2 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 2 left, United 1390.
1390, slow to final.
Slow to final.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong this time?
Well, he's already asked him to slow up, so...
Yeah.
948 heavy, running 2 left, line for wait, be ready to go.
3 left, line up for you, United 948 heavy.
Yeah, 2117, turn left at either 1 left or Echo, and just expedite company waiting for parts.
Alright, well, exit Echo, United 2117.
Yeah, 2117, join Bravo, no delay, please.
Bravo, no delay, United 2117.
United 40 Heavy, 28 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 28 left, United 948 Heavy.
1390, can you take a side step?
Nope, that's too late.
Wah, wah.
At 1390, go around.
Go around, United 1390.
Yeah, 1390, turn left heading 260, maintain 3100.
260, 3100, United 1390.
1893, cross to left, contact ground.
1893, cross 3 left over to ground.
Yeah, 683, cross to left, contact ground.
Cross 3 left, contact ground, United 683.
United 48 Heavy, contact departure.
948 departure, good day.
Yeah, 1390, contact NorCal 1351.
1390, you guys got to do better than this. That's twice.
All right, talk to NorCal about that.
What's the freak?
1351.
35-1.
I don't think it is.
NorCal United 1390, with you again on the miss. 2100 for 31.
Yeah, to 1390, NorCal departure, final maintain 5000.
5000 United 1390. What's going on? That's twice.
I'm not sure.
This is unacceptable. Come on, well, let's not do this again.
We don't work in the tower, sir.
Who told me to talk to you?
They bladed it
1390,
in.
contact approach 135.65.
3565 United 1390. Hope to not talk to you again. NorCal United 1390, with you again on level 5000.
1390, NorCal approach. Information Delta is not current. Advise me of that. System call 3001. Expect the
Give me a
visual
break.
approach. Runway 28 right.
All right, 28 right now. Can we make sure we don't put anyone on the runway anymore?
Yeah, 1390. We're wondering the same
That
thing.
runway
We got a feed over
entirely
here,
for
and,
me.
We'll make sure you land this time again. It's going to be a trail for 28 right. Reduce speed now to 190.
Flow to 190. Yeah, I'm definitely throwing a report for this. This is just unacceptable.
Yeah, 1390. We are in 100% agreement with you. Sorry for it.
Thanks. I know it's not your fault, but unfortunately you're the one I got to vent to. But he told me to talk to you guys. That's the funny part.
That's great. Apparently, aircraft on the ground have priority of aircraft in the air.
All right.
Which is not correct.
United 1390 again. Just for information, we've had issues with the tower here for a while as far as some of these go arounds, things like that. But I think it's warranted for an official report because we're hearing now that they're trying to blame us for our fees. I don't know what was wrong with what we did.
Yeah, I'll throw one out for sure. I mean, that's just unacceptable. Two go-arounds for the same issue. It's just, it's got to happen. Something's got to happen with that.
I agree with you 100%.
Yep. So.
Yeah, 1390, maintain 170 knots to the San Mateo Bridge. Good luck this time. Contact San Francisco Tower 120.5.
170 knots till the San Mateo Bridge and clear and over the tower, United 1390. Thanks. Have a good one, man.
All right. So tower's blaming approach, and approach is saying, nope, it's tower. I think that they're giving them properly sequenced traffic to these runways for landing. It's just that they're trying to do these squeeze plays, and they have the preceding aircraft taking too long to clear the runway, and then so that they can clear the aircraft in position on the runway for takeoff. And it's just not working out. The math doesn't work out. Mohammed,
it's interesting though. The approach controllers should know that how long it takes someone to get off, and that when they've got 15 queued for takeoff, they're going to try and get someone in position, and the distance you need between two aircraft on approach to achieve that. Because if the tower controller and the approach controller aren't communicating properly and arranging the distance between aircraft correctly, you're going to continually get these. So I'm not sure where the fault lies, quite honestly.
Maybe a little bit of blame can go to perhaps both of the controlling agencies. Maybe
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, NorCal and San Francisco Tower are miles apart. So they're not like they're meeting in the bar every night for a chinwag after work so they can chew through these problems, saying, can you guys give me another, when it's busy, 5 o'clock in the afternoon or whether, can you guys give me an extra half a mile so I can, squeeze someone in behind the landing traffic and get them off without sending the next guy around? And, that's generally speaking how a lot of these problems are solved. You just get together and chew it over and say, right, okay, yeah, I've got that. Now I'll try and do that next time. But on the other hand, the tower controller should know what separation you need. And if you try and plug someone in all the time and it sends someone around, well, all right, once you can accept, but twice, I have a problem with that.
Well, and the approach controllers have an interest in ensuring that they're giving aircraft in the flow proper spacing, because it's going to be their problem again if they don't land. And,
and it will make their problem even worse because now they've got another airplane floating around they weren't expecting.
Yeah, so Mohammed in Baghdad, an air traffic controller, he says, for me as air traffic control, I immediately apologize for any mistakes that I do, and that absorbs the pilot, or keeps the pilot from getting too upset. And I think, that's the same thing that Nick just said, that, that would have gone a long way to apologize for, what happened. The first time the guy's going to be a bit upset about it. The second time he's going to be furious. But having said that, you never hear an air traffic controller berating a pilot over the airwaves when he makes a mistake. They're usually incredibly professional about that. I expect the same level of professionalism from the air crew, from the pilots, when air traffic make a mistake. So, yeah, by all means, make the point, but don't go on about it, because, it's very embarrassing when you make a mistake of air traffic, spent the next 5 minutes whinging about your inability to take up the correct heading or remember an altitude you've been sent to, etc., etc. So don't do it to the air traffic controllers. If you want to make a point about it, do it on the phone after you've landed. Yep. But we have heard on the show instances where air traffic control were kind of snarky and complaining
New York are
as well.
A special case.
Yeah. So, and even here in San Francisco, there were the snarky remark made
actually,
by
there was that lady the other day. Yeah. Actually, now we make that point. Yeah, perhaps it's just American people. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. We're just ornery, complain about everything.
You make a good point, Jeff. But perhaps we should all be more professional.
Yeah, let's just all be more civil. Yeah.
I'm interested to know what report he's going to raise. Because was there a flight safety risk in any of those actions? Is he going to raise a flight safety report? What other kind of report can he raise?
Yeah, I think like an aviation safety report, ASR, we call them. But you're right. It wasn't really necessarily a safety
issue.
No, because everything worked the way it's supposed to. It's just a little irritating because it wasn't planned well enough. Or executed properly.
Yeah, but that's just an annoyance. It's not a flight safety risk.
Oh, the annoyance report, the AR. That's the one.
Yes, that's what I'm angry report.
Liz is telling us that we get a lot of those annoyance reports here at the APG.
Yes,
we really do.
We've got a special filing place for that. It's called File 13, and it goes in there.
Oh, the round file.
Yes,
I see
that's right. The round file that sits under your desk.
Okay. We're going to skip a few here, Captain Nick, and we're going to save those for when the good doctor is going to be here. And we're going to, looks like another video. Is this G that we're doing, Liz? Okay, let me load up the video, because I can only load up so many before everything just starts falling apart. Let's see, video. We got a lot of videos.
Computer.
Oh, I don't think it's the computer. I think it's something else. It's just, I don't know. I'm just blaming things other than myself. I'm deflecting. And what is this?
You need to write a report.
I do need to write an annoyance report.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. All right. So let's read what this article says from aerotime.aero. Jetstar, which is I think a low-cost carrier or discount carrier in Australia, finds a passenger for wearing extra clothing in luggage hack attempt. Passengers whose travel hack did not fly has been fined after attempting to circumvent an airline's excess baggage fee. Adriana Ocampo and Emily Altamura were traveling on a domestic Australian flight from Melbourne to Adelaide with Jetstar Australia when they faced the unexpected that the airline actually checked the baggage weight when checking in. Every other time I've flown with them, they haven't checked, according to Ocampo, which she mentioned on her now viral TikTok video, which has now garnered over 1.4 million views. So here, let's take a look at the video here. Yeah, go ahead and...
Did we know what was coming for us? When Jetstar actually checks the weight of your luggage.
Just shows them putting on a bunch of their clothing in their baggage. And they're laughing. This is really funny. They're getting bulked up.
And this is what my luggage is looking like. And this is what I'm
Oh, they think they're getting away with something.
The whole airport was
It's a good look.
staring at us.
Especially this next one with the iPad. Yeah.
This is how I'm going on the plane. I'm in tears.
Oh, sorry. This music that's playing in the background is not really appropriate. Sorry about that. I just heard some of the lyrics. Yeah.
We ended up paying
the fine. The whole video got clipped at the end there, but they tried to get away with it, but they brought a lot of attention to what they were doing, and laughing and giggling and drawing a lot of attention, and the employees of the airline noticed what was happening there, and yeah, hard to not notice for sure. And they ended up saying, yeah, sorry, but you're still going to have to pay the excess baggage fee. So they didn't get away with anything other than providing for some great content on their TikTok channel. Oh, you're muted, Nick.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sure that was worth a bit of change for them anyway to help pay for their excess baggage. If they'd been a bit more discreet and slipped off around the corner, they might have got away with it.
Exactly. Yeah, the execution of this dastardly plan was lacking.
When you rub the airline's employees' noses in it, it doesn't go down very well. But there you go.
Yep, that is for sure. All right. Do we go to H next, Liz? Okay. This is also from aerotime.aero. A man hid in plain wheels. No, he did not hide in plain wheels. Come on, people.
Contortionist? How do you get inside a wheel?
Amelia Stankiewicz is the author of this.
Have a drink.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry, that's not good enough.
Sorry, here.
Good.
All right. Anyway, so obviously the man hid in the plane well for a free Houston-Miami flight. I don't think he got away with it, did he? Serial stowaway strikes again, playing dangerous game with airport security. A Guatemalan man described as a serial stowaway was caught in the act once again when he snuck into an American Airlines plane wheel well to catch a flight from Houston to Miami after hopping over a security fence. The event happened at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, Texas, and is the latest in a series of trespassing charges against 26-year-old Jeffrey Gutierrez. Indeed, it's the second time he has been caught in the same airport. I'm thinking, I like the way he spelled his name, Jeffrey. It's a Jehffrey. I might actually change my spelling. Yes.
I think you should have 3 Fs in your spelling.
Did you say your name was Jeff? I said, no, Jeff. Okay. Gutierrez had been ordered to stay away from Bush Intercontinental and Hobby airports, both airports in Houston area, required to wear an electronic monitor, but he removed the monitor before the incident. Huh, who knew? His reckless act put everyone on board American Airlines Flight 1551 in imminent danger of serious bodily injury. Well, I think it would be only him that would be in serious.
Well, yeah, I tend to agree, Jeff.
Yeah. Anyway, the stowaway had hidden inside the wheel compartment containing critical steering and hydraulic components and was found while performing a pre-flight check. Each of the 166 passengers had to be deboarded, resulting... That's a weird word. Deboarded, resulting in a delay of 44 minutes. He had previously managed to pull off a similar stunt that should almost certainly have proved fatal. In November 2021, he was hospitalized after traveling from Guatemala to Miami in the landing gear of another plane. I believe we probably covered that one. This alarming pattern. Yeah, you'd think that after that experience that you would not want to, do that again. This alarming pattern of risking his own life and the lives of others through repeated attempts to stow away in the landing gear of aircraft caused the court to question the 26-year-old's mental capabilities. Police also noted that he entered the country illegally and is currently homeless. So he's basically an illegal alien. He's not even supposed to be here, but and now he's just causing all kinds of trouble.
He's being held on a $1 million bond.
Mm-hmm.
So... I mean, how can a homeless guy afford $1 million?
Exactly.
If it was $100 bond, he'd probably struggle, wouldn't he?
Well, maybe not so much, but 1 million basically is just a way of making sure that you don't let him back out again because he's a threat. Yeah. Oh, and Liz is making a very good point. Perhaps he's homeless. So, he is homeless according to this article. So maybe he's just looking for a nice place to stay. Get 3 meals a day, exercise facilities.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Showers. Yeah. Well, you got to be. That can be a mixed bag.
Backs to the walls, chaps. Backs to the walls.
Do not drop the soap.
No.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Pro tip: do not do this. It would seem that would be quite evident, self-evident. But
yeah, and I thought by now it had worked out that there's not a lot of spare room in the Nosewell Bay.
No.
There's not a lot of room in any of the bays, but the Nosewell Bay in particular, that's a pretty tight on space.
Was this, now I think they're showing a picture of a 737. Was that, do we know if that was what? We didn't look up Flight 1551, but according to this picture here, let's just assume that it was a 737. And if it seems reasonable going from Houston to Miami, that's not a very large nose wheel well at all.
No.
Not like a big
it's pretty
wide body. Yeah. I don't know how you do that without getting crushed, actually.
Good point.
Yeah.
I'd rather not think about it.
Yeah, me neither. All right. Next one is also from Aerotime. Oh, it is a 737. Our staff, our crack staff.
Wow.
We're not going to tell you exactly why we refer to them as crack, but it has nothing to do.
Something to stay awake.
Yeah. Yeah. So when Liz says that she needed to go and grab another Coke, I assumed that she was talking about the soda, but I was wrong. Let's see. This is from aerotime.aero. Did an AI-enabled drone attack? Wait, did an AI-enabled drone attack its operator? Doubt it. Let's see. This was reportedly what was claimed as part of a session at the Royal Aeronautical Society. Ooh, I hear they hire people to give lectures.
Well, that sounds like what this was, but most of the people they hire
don't know what they're talking about.
I was going to say this is only one of many spurious talks given.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I should let Nick read the rest here. You want to take on the honors since you're a respected lecturer of the
Lecturer of the
Royal Aeronautical Society?
Yes, certainly. During the talk, Colonel Tucker Cinco Hamilton, the Chief of AI Test and Operations, United States Air Force, well, that explains a lot, said that in a simulation conducted not long ago by the US military, an AI-enabled drone had reacted in a rather alarming way when a human operator tried to override its mission objectives. 5 is alive. 5 is alive. According to the version.
That's why his name's Cinco.
Yeah. Oh, very good. No, well done. Brilliant. You could have one of those drinks back now.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. According to the version of the events posted on the Royal Aeronautical Society website, the drone had been trained to attack enemy air defenses, but the go-no-go order depended on the decision of a human operator, seemingly aware that this human override would prevent it from accomplishing its mission. The HAL 5000 tried to attack the operator. That's reminiscent of a movie I've seen.
Yeah, that is very, very interesting.
Open the pod bay door, Hal. Seeming when taught when taught that it should not attack the operator, the AI drone apparently tried to sever the communication link so that the human controller could not prevent it from accomplishing its assigned mission. This is the start of every sci-fi AI movie I've ever seen. The US military, however, has denied this simulation ever took place and dismissed the story as a casual, out-of-context comment by a senior Air Force officer. Do senior Air Force officers actually make casual, out-of-context comments on a regular basis, I wonder?
All the time. Especially
Fair
that
enough.
Cinco dude.
Yeah. One wonders how he got to be so senior. The story has been widely shared on social media, feeding into the current broader debate about the perceived dangers of AI. Well, there you go. It's going to happen one day, you know. We're going to end up with Terminator on our doorstep.
Yep. Do you feel any danger from your AI art generator software, Nick?
Only when it shows those pictures of me with another woman in, in flagrante delicto.
What I'm more concerned about, Liz, though, is his robo lawn mowing device.
Yeah. Luckily, all it takes is a pine cone to stop that.
I know I'll be very, very careful when I'm there, Liz. I'm just desperately looking for. I know I have the sound effect of the HAL 9000 or whatever from 2001.
Oh, it's 9000. Yeah, but the 5000
I think it's 9000.
Wasn't a very good success.
No, that was an older version that didn't work well at all.
Yeah.
But
I didn't
I can't
want to get
find
sued by the cinema.
Darn it! It would have been so funny for me to play, and I'm not going to give up yet. So let me see. Let me look at one more thing here. I am going to attack the computer that is hiding it from me. Yes.
Give me your arms.
Oh, but see, the problem with doing what I'm doing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that Nick will just be a pain and just kind of rub in the fact that I'm making him stay up later than he should be. So
I've got infinite patience.
No, you don't.
Right,
I can't find it.
What was it? Was it Open the Pod Bay Doors?
Oh, is it called Pod? Because I did a search for it, and I did not. Obviously I didn't name it HAL or 9000. Well, what a bummer.
Did you name it 2001? The Space
maybe
Odyssey?
2001. Here, let me see. I'll do a quick search for that. 2001.
It is, by the way, one of the greatest movies ever made.
It is.
Good old Kubrick.
Actually.
Well done.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so much for
Bad
that.
luck. You can do it in post, of course, and get rid
I
of
could
all
probably
this
do it in post.
if trivia.
That's true. I'll clean this thing up a little bit. All right, let's. This is a good one. Let's wrap this thing up.
Thank the Lord for that.
Excuse me. This is from Paddle Your Own Canoe. No, don't paddle somebody else's. Paddle your own canoe. Controversial Brazilian singer gets in trouble with airline pilot after taking advantage of flight deck visit. Now, so that conjures up all kinds of
I need my
things.
glasses on for this one.
Yeah. So there is a picture that shows this a controversial Brazilian singer who has made a name for herself. By the way, this is on the ground. It was not in flight. By performing lewd acts on live on stage, allegedly, has gotten herself into trouble with an airline pilot after bearing her behind during a visit to the flight deck of a GOL Airlines plane. I'm not sure if you pronounce it GOL or just GOL. The 21-year-old singer and social media influencer who goes by the stage name MC Pepokme. No, Papoka was filmed sitting in the captain's seat after a recent flight, taking hold of the controls, the airplane controls, and trying to joke with one of the pilots. During the short clip, the songstress suddenly lowered her pants to reveal her backside. After receiving a scolding from the pilot, the singer covered herself back up before claiming she was wearing shorts. GOL Airlines has defended the decision to let her into the flight deck, saying it regularly allowed supervised visits to the cockpit during aircraft turnarounds on the ground when the visit wouldn't impede preparations for the next flight. We do that all the time at Acme. In a statement, but I've never had this kind of experience. In a statement, the airline said it had long been policy to allow quick supervised visits to the cockpit to bring people closer to the incredible universe of aviation, which arouses a lot of curiosity. I thought that was an interesting use of words there in that sentence. Visits are authorized according to the commander's assessment, usually during disembarkation, as long as they do not interfere with the preparation for the next flight or safety, the statement continued. A spokesperson said that the pilots couldn't predict sudden attitudes, or I would say behaviors, or actions, such as that of the client, MC Popoko.
Have another drink.
Okay. This is a difficult name. Okay. She has had several of her shows canceled by local authorities following her on-stage antics, which have included oral sex with a fan who was invited onto the stage during a recent concert. And now, luckily for you, dear listeners, I found a little recording of an interview, and she was asked what she thought of the cockpit and especially those really, really good-looking airline pilots. And she said,
Spicy.
Well, there you go. It's not
so she was very impressed.
For nothing, you know.
That's true. Yeah, well, she doesn't have a lot of vocabulary, but
Perhaps she didn't realize why it was called a cockpit, for which you would have to listen to one of my plain tales explaining the origin of that term.
That's always good advice, to listen to the plain tales. And with that, I think it would be time for us now.
We got away with that, Jeff.
I think we did. And it's time to get to know us. I don't think you really want to, but too bad. That's the segment that we're going to right now. Like us, getting to hope you like us too. Sounds good, Liz. All right. Captain Nick, I was wondering if you might want to get us all up to date with what has been happening in your neck of the woods.
Well, not a great deal to say other than I've been living a pretty busy life, quite honestly. If it's not my commitments to my bowling league and the competitions I've entered, most of which I'm still in, which is good on one hand, but keeps me very busy on the other. Got a relative from Australia visiting very shortly, so that's going to keep us busy. And then I've got a bit of a treat next week. I'm meeting the Australian Air and Space Attaché in London at the London Embassy.
Wow.
And he turns out he's an old F-18 friend of mine from my days when I was serving on 77 Squadron. Now he was a very young man at the time, and he's obviously progressed very well to be across as an air attaché here in London. Quite a prestigious job for him at the embassy there. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to try and take I will take a recording device along and hope I can get him to relate a couple of stories while we have a beer in the afternoon. That's the general idea. And then luckily I've got a bit of a quiet time, a quick pop into hospital the week after just to get something tidied up. I think I'm going to have some wrinkles smoothed out.
Oh,
Yes,
I thought
good
it was going to
idea.
be like something they were going to do to kind of tweak the brain a little bit.
But I'd have to find it first. Yes, that would be a problem. Because the last CT scan, they said, no, there's absolutely nothing wrong there. I can't find a thing
Nothing
wrong
there,
with your
actually.
brain. In fact, we can't find your brain. Absolutely. And the week after that, of course, there is going to be a really marvelous event when Jeff pitches up. Now, I have exactly pitches up into the United Kingdom. Now, we have produced an advertisement, which is not entirely complete yet, because it's a little short in exact detail, but the Yanks are coming. And we are going to have a UK meetup with Captain Jeff on the 4th of July, which I think is a great occasion to meet an American. So we can all, he can poke fun at us and we can thumb our nose at him.
I'm going to be way outnumbered.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to meet up at the RAF Museum at Hendon in the afternoon of the 4th of July. And then for those who are busy working people but still want to get a chance to say hello to Jeff and have a bit of a chat, that we're going to move on to a pub. And for those of you who live in or know central London, and or the area in Hendon well, we're looking obviously for a nice pub, not too busy, where the beer isn't too expensive. We can grab a bite to eat and would make a good venue for a meetup. I quite like the idea of being somewhere in central London because, you know, around all those lovely recognizable parts of London, it adds a little bit of, tourist attitude. You know, it's rather nice to show off the Houses of Parliament or whatever, but we're really not fussy. We're just looking for suggestions for a nice pub, and we'll pick one. But that's the general plan. More details as we flesh it out and firm it up. And there was a suggestion also from one of our listeners who lives a bit further up north, saying it's all very well having all these meetups around London because, you know, the whole world rotates around London. How about having a meetup up near Silverstone where you are going to the Grand Prix? And Jeff and I had a bit of a chat about it. And if we were to do that, we'd need somewhere where we could go and have a beer, not too far from where we'll be staying. We're going to look for a pub around there. And it would be probably on Friday night, because Friday are the practice sessions, and we could probably get away with enough time to have a beer, whereas Is it? Yeah, it's Friday, yeah. Whereas Saturday and Sunday is going to be a lot busier, and we would unlikely to be able to get away very quickly to have a bit of a meetup. So Friday night might be an opportunity to have a meetup a bit further north, where those who live up in that part of the country might be able to get away and come and find us. So more about that to come. How's that sound, Jeff?
Sounds awesome.
Brilliant.
And I figure that I'm going to be in the UK approximately 2 weeks, which means 2 episodes of APG. So I think we'll be recording a couple of shows, Nick and I together live. And Liz is disappointed. She said she thought she was going to have a holiday. Well, you can take your holiday, Liz, along with the one at the end of July that you do every year. Yeah, you're just going to take the whole summer off, I guess. But that's okay. We're going to do it anyway. Okay, good. Well, we're happy that you're going to be a part of it as well. Well, you should come over and hang with us. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's the boys will play time. Yep, and I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm so looking forward to meeting people that I've already met before, and also new people who are new to the show, who might be showing up at 1 or 2 of our meetups. Neil Landwarm has a question for you, Captain Nick. I've been to Hendon, so that would be nice, Nick. I take it driving... Oh, no, I've never been to Hendon, I'm sorry. So that would be nice. I take it driving, it would be difficult?
No, not necessarily. There's parking at Hendon, which is only like £3.50 or a £5 for quite a reasonable period. So that's quite doable. If you wanted to come to the pub afterwards, if it was a local pub, that probably wouldn't be a problem. If we decide to move to a pub in central London, that might be a bit harder for you. But there's Hendon is on an underground link, so if you catch the train into London, you can just jump on the underground and come out to Hendon and then return back to central London without a problem. So up to you. It's quite accessible, Hendon. It's not too hard to get to.
Excellent. So anyway, we're going to be continuing to talk about this meetup and my trip up over to UK on subsequent shows. So if we are able to nail down the details anymore, then we'll certainly let you know.
Yeah, and please feel free to airmail.
Or you can airmail, but it may take some time.
Email me at nick@airlinepilotguide.com with any suggestions for pubs.
Right. So have you, I think you mentioned that you're still very competitive in the lawn bowling.
Well, I like to think I am, Jeff, but I'm not as good as I think I am, obviously.
Well, I mean, we're pilots, and we always have an overestimation of our skills and intelligence and good looks.
But I'm hanging on in there with some of the best of them, so I'm quite pleased. My ultimate game is to get badged by Hampshire, which to get your county badge is a recognition of your ability and
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
Oh, exactly right. I've been badged in Sussex and Surrey so far, and I would like to get the 3 counties that exist around where I live. So that's my aim. I just need to get into the last 8 of one of these competitions, and I'll probably be all right. I'll get badged.
What about Hartford, Hereford, those 2? Other than Hampshire, are those other counties or something?
I'm Hartford. I don't think Hartford's a county.
Is that what they say?
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
I don't know where those places are. Hartford. I know where Hartford is. It's up in Connecticut.
There you go. You see, Hartford will be a town somewhere. I expect. I know where Hampshire is.
Mohammed is leaving us. It's quite late in the evening in Baghdad.
Good night, Mohammed.
Yeah, so nice to have you hang with us, and just shows you what an amazing community that we have, that people from all over the globe join us when they can for our live recordings. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Always honored to see our folk from everywhere
Yep.
in the chat room.
Yeah, you want to talk about the cover art before I do my little spiel?
By all means, I cheated a little bit this week. In other words, I didn't really have to alter that at all. I did try to. There was one other suggestion for a bit of artwork, and I did suggest it to the crew, but they picked on the open enginectomy surgery, and that I basically gave our AI artwork producer the problem, and that's what they came out with. So I didn't have to do much to that at all. I snuck the show number in there, APG 572. Did you spot that anywhere, Jeff?
Well, I see the Acme Airways logo there, but I
that
don't.
was a kind of a smeared, greasy-looking logo.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was,
I mean, that's the way it is, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Jim. Hopefully, it'll be all nice and cleaned up before it goes on my motorhome. No, where is the number of the show?
Well, the bloke to the very left, there's a lever just underneath his right arm.
Yeah.
On the pedestal, and it's hidden amongst the sort of. There was something written on there, and I've actually managed to hide it amongst the letters and on that.
On the lever itself?
Underneath the lever.
Oh, underneath
on what would be the front of the box that the lever's on. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I still can't see it because it's too small on the.
Well, you
on
need to
the stream.
expand it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Some I make a bit hard. The whole thing about this AI is that it manages to produce an image from its imagination somehow, because this has got propellers sticking out of it at funny angles. It's got hydraulic lines. It's got gears and motors, and I really am amazed how it managed to generate this. When I told it I wanted a bunch of surgeons sitting around an aircraft engine, fixing it. So
So you didn't use the prompt propeller at all?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
I told it was an aircraft engine.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I might have used propeller in there, but I don't think so. No.
Well, let's just say you didn't. It makes for a better story.
You're very true. But having said that, it gives you a bunch of options, diverse images. This was the only one that had propellers in it. So
okay,
perhaps as soon as I said aircraft engine, it probably thought, oh, well, I'll put some propellers
it's got
in there.
propellers all over the place. And that we took this suggestion, this idea from, or the concept, thank you, Liz, of Nick Camacho's open enginectomy surgery on his Beechcraft Debonair. That he's
you
has
can
the whole thing
recognize the
taken apart.
Beechcraft Debonair signature on this engine, really, can't you? I mean, where else would an engine like that go?
I mean, that looks exactly like the pictures that he shared with us on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, if the engine looks anything like this, I think that he has a lot of problems that he's going to have to work through.
Very true. By the way, the AI still having problems with fingers. I had to fix about 4 fingers in there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like it would be such an easy thing to fix. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you? Say,
Yeah.
if you've got a person, you've got to have 4 fingers and a thumb, but apparently not.
Apparently, it has a tough time figuring that all out. Neil thinks it looks very steampunk.
It does indeed. Yes.
I think all the art from Midjourney kind of has that kind of steampunk kind of
a great deal
vibe.
of it, unless you specifically suggest what theme you want it to follow. It does tend towards this kind of old-fashioned 50s sort of look to its images.
Have you ever done like in the style of Pixar or anything like that?
Yeah, I have. I've done many in the styles of. Usually photorealistic styles, but and cartoon styles, and some are more successful than others. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, it was an awesome one. Thank you, Captain. All right. It's my turn. Yay.
Hey.
Of course, I've been doing, we did the show, and then, of course, I think I did a quick trip after the show. I did an overnight to somewhere. I just don't remember where it was. And then, of course, I did my normal...
I'm singing!
...on the weekend. And then I was contacted a little while back by AJ, the guy that looks like the emoji cowboy hat head guy in front of the Acme pilot hiring. He sent us some feedback regarding that in a nice picture. Oh, okay. It was to Walmartville. My 2-day was an overnight to Rogers, Bentonville, Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas, a bunch of those cities up there. And Arkansas, yep. Okay. And anyway, so he contacted me and said, hey, he mentioned in his feedback that he had been hired by Acme. And he was going to be in the indoctrination setting, or whatever you call that, institution. I don't know. They have a thing where they kind of tell you all about Acme and its policies and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's around a 10-day thing. I don't think we didn't have anything like that when I got hired, and I'm kind of, evidence that they probably should have. So he said he was going to be here from the 4th through the 14th, I believe. And if I were available to meet up with him, that he would really enjoy that. And I said I would enjoy that as well. And I said that my schedule is completely up in the air, and I guess the pun's intended. But the new method of self-scheduling that I'm doing means that I really don't know when I'm going to be here and when I'm going to be out flying. That's true, Liz. I just really don't know where I am or where I'm going to be or what I'm doing. I don't know. What am I doing right now? Who am I talking to? What am I doing sitting in front of this computer in my apartment? I don't know. I have no idea really why. Anyway. So I said, look, I'm kind of busy on the weekends, but I should be available after the last mass that I sing in on Sunday evening. And so we kept in touch and didn't pick up a trip. So he said, are you thirsty? And I went, yeah. So I drove down to the ATL and met up with AJ at the brass tack, and we of course made a little recording, and I hope that there's nothing embarrassing in this recording because I really didn't get a lot of time to edit this, so I'm just going to hit the play button and see what happens. Fingers crossed.
Me too.
Okay, it says we're recording. So hello everybody. Who's we're? I'm with one of our APG community members who has sent us feedback in the past, and he calls himself Shipmate, a former C-130 Marine Corps C-130 driver, and a new hire, an Acme new hire. He sent us some feedback. I must be going through puberty. My voice just broke. I'm going to redo this. It's embarrassing. Think all this singing I did today. All right, folks. We are at another APG meetup in Atlanta, and I'm down near the Acme Airlines headquarters building, right across the street, in fact, at the Brass Tap again. I've been here before, and this time I'm with an Acme new hire pilot, AJ, and he sent some recent feedback telling us about the fact that he got hired by Acme Airlines and that he would be starting his indoctrination around this time frame. And if it worked out, he wanted to get together with me, and I said, yeah, absolutely, we'll make it happen. And now I was a little confused because I was looking for somebody that had a round yellow face with a cowboy hat, and I looked high and low. I couldn't find him, but he looks a little bit different in real life. So his name's AJ, and AJ, say hello to everybody in the community.
Hey there, everybody. APG crew, AJ here. Yeah, my when I smile real big, face gets real yellow, not red, and this cowboy hat comes off here, and yeah, that's me. By the way, Nick, I appreciate that you the compliment on my suit. You know, turns out it didn't matter much because the 50% accuracy still applied. You know, I went there. I was very nervous for my Acme interview, and you know, I said the Al Shepherd's Prayer like I was telling Jeff here. I said the Al Shepherd's Prayer. You know, I said, "Dear Lord, please don't let me F up." And sure enough, you know, they didn't laugh when I said it, but you know, if you ever seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, they asked me some questions. You know, like I was really nervous, and they said, you know, what is your favorite color? And I don't know if I got that one right or not, but I got hired on with Acme. So,
AJ, you can't get that question wrong. Well, I guess you can if you're on Monty Python, right? Yeah.
I could have. I nailed the calculus question, though. Go figure. But yeah, we're here at the Brass Tap with Jeff. Really pleasure to meet Jeff today, and really happy to start to send more feedback and just be a part of the community, and finally actually get to meet Jeff, and hopefully meet more folks here in the future. And you know, as we progress through my Acme career, really would like to, you know, obviously keep sending things out as things go on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, a lot of people listen to our show to live vicariously through us, and pretty soon I am going to be finished here with this career, and now I'll be living vicariously through people like you, AJ.
I will
who
be
are
the captain
continuing
now.
to fly. Yeah. So yeah, it's always awesome to meet up with people that listen to the show, and you know, you never can be too careful, because you think, like, people that listen to the show, they're probably not completely mentally, you know, all together. Because, you know, honestly, really, why would you listen to this show? But anyway, he seems to be like a normal person, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad judge of character, but I think that this guy is awesome, and I think I understand why Acme chose him to be one of our pilots. And so, yeah, congratulations. It's a thrill to spend time and learn about AJ's family and his military background and all that kind of stuff, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, thanks again, Jeff. It was really awesome. I appreciate it, and I'm just fortunate. It's my turn this week to pet the muff. So,
oh yeah,
good.
Well, okay. Here, let me prepare myself.
Oh boy.
Okay, yeah. I guess we should probably stop now.
We don't know where this is going. My wife's already worried.
And I think the FCC is listening too, so we should probably stop. All right, well, back to you in the studio. We had fun.
It sounds like it. Most certainly.
Yeah.
A lovely chat.
He's a really nice guy, and got to learn all about the history and how he led up to getting to this point, and you know how he got into the military and all of his. We shared a lot of great military aviation stories, and how that neither of us should still be alive, but and Captain Nick knows what I mean. It's kind of a minor miracle that we're still alive here on this earth.
Well done, both of you.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Look who's here.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful...
Just make it up. It's fine.
It's just like a marathon runner, strength training junkie, IPA connoisseur, a backstabbing
commercial
jumper,
multi-engine instrument-rated backstabbing jumper dumper.
fully aspirated, awesome chick.
I have no idea what that even means, but I will take that as a compliment. Thank you. It's good to be here. Sorry it took me a minute to get here. And apologies in advance. I woke up today feeling fairly under the weather, like very congested and I don't know, not great. I know, yeah. Yeah.
You feeling better?
Not really.
Oh.
I was feeling better for a little while, but I think whatever decongestants I took this morning have worn off at this point. So that's why it took me an extra minute after I told y'all I was home. I wanted
you need a can of beer, Steph.
No, I can't do any beer tonight.
Do Do you see how big this beer can
I
is?
see that.
It's 1 quart.
1 quart. That's
Yes.
Yeah, I have just a soda because the post-nasal drip is killing the back of my throat, and soda bubbles always kind of help that for me.
I found that more alcohol, you don't really feel it.
Yeah, well, except I have to be up earlier than usual, even for me tomorrow morning, and being under the weather, and to be like on my game first thing tomorrow morning. So I've made a decision that I'm not having alcohol tonight.
Okay. Well,
I
that
know.
sounds like
Did
Very
you say
unlike me, but
Mayday decision?
Mayday, Mayday.
Mayday. I can't
right.
have alcohol.
So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to finish my little getting to know us spiel, and then we're going to go into yours.
Sorry, you didn't
Steph.
have to pause yours, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, you just burst in unceremoniously, and
I was just gonna
had
lurk
no
for a
other
minute.
choice but
I was just
to
gonna sit
acknowledge
here
the fact
and
that you were.
listen.
No, I'm just kidding. I saw you and I went, oh, let's say hello to Steph. Okay, so where was I? I had the nice meetup with AJ, and I did another trip to Asheville, North Carolina, just a quick overnight. And let's see, got home yesterday morning, and I have, you don't even know this, Liz. I picked up a trip well, actually, they called me earlier yesterday after between the trips and asked if I wanted to go and fly to, I think, Baton Rouge and then deadhead back today, but I wouldn't have been returning here in Atlanta until after we started doing the show. So I thought, nope, I'm not going to do that because that's going to interfere with the APG. So, but I am going to fly tomorrow night late. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's the one I'm going to Baton Rouge. The other one was Jacksonville, North Carolina. So I'm going to be flying late tomorrow night to Baton Rouge, the capital of Louisiana, and then flying back sometime in the afternoon on Friday. So that's what's up with my flying. And yesterday morning when I arrived in Atlanta, I was getting off the airplane and I was walking into the terminal, going to head down toward, the transportation mall. And I felt like somebody was staring at me. And sure enough, there were 2 people staring at me. One of which is that gentleman that we have in the picture there. That's Captain Brent, my once and now gone former favorite FO, who's now a captain. And he and the best gate agent in the entire world, Scott Leathers, were standing there kind of just looking at me like, are you going to notice us over here standing, looking dapper? And so I said hello to both, and then Brent had a little time to grab some breakfast, so I got a chance to kind of get all caught up with Brent, so it was nice seeing Brent. Yes, stripes do become him for sure. And let's see, what else? I mentioned on the last show and that I was going to be promoting the pilotedge.net, their sim venture, which is a way for you to kind of prepare yourself for Oshkosh Air Venture 2023. They use real air traffic controllers, and it allows you through sim, what would you call it? Sim software to kind of fly the special procedures that they have and practice it before you actually do it in person. Now, Steph has been able to witness that or experience that, right?
Rode along with dispatcher Mike one year. We actually departed Oshkosh and then basically went out and flew the arrival back in just for the purpose of flying it.
Yeah, it's not a simple procedure. It's kind of complicated.
No, and there's quite a lot in that NOTAM that has all of the relevant information for it. And unlike most NOTAMs, that one's actually quite useful and not a bunch of garbage. And you better know it if you're planning on flying into Oshkosh.
Okay.
Because it contains all of the different things that you could possibly expect, in terms of the arrival and, sorry, my phone's making noise. The arrival and the different runways and the approaches to the runways and lots of information.
Well, Kevin Myers from Pilot Edge Marketing and Client Services contacted me, as I mentioned last time, and said, hey, if you could mention this whole thing again, we'd really appreciate it. We're going to keep your logo on our sim background scenery and stuff. So, we're kind of a part of this whole sim venture thing in a very indirect way. And I said, I'd be happy to. They're not compensating us in any way. And he followed up by sending an email with a commercial, voiceover commercial, explaining what SimVenture is all about. So without further ado, let's hear from Kevin and the boys and girls at SimVenture.
Flying to Oshkosh this year, or know someone who is? The famous Fisk arrival and AirVenture can be very complex, busy, and fast-paced.
Hang on. Sounds kind of
Sounds
dry.
like 1.5 speed or something.
Yeah, it sounds kind of. I don't know. It's not very exciting.
Can you add some exciting music to it?
Yeah, let me see if I can sweeten it up a little bit.
Flying to Oshkosh this year, or know someone who is? The famous Fisk arrival and AirVenture can be very complex, busy, and fast-paced. Whether you're a rookie or a veteran, everyone can benefit from some training and proficiency prior to following the railroad tracks and rocking their wings. Luckily, you can prepare ahead of time using your home flight simulator. X-Plane 11 Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 Prepared or FSX is your gateway to participate in SimVenture. SimVenture is put on by Pilot Edge and has the actual Oshkosh air traffic controllers volunteering for your benefit to help you prepare for AirVenture. It all happens July 13th through 16th. Visit pilotedge.net/SimVenture to learn more.
Now, I hope that Kevin doesn't object to me putting a music bed in, but don't you think that sounded more exciting?
That sounded very inviting, I want to do that.
And what I'm going to do is next week, I'm going to add a different music bed just to kind of keep it interesting.
Okay.
And
Different
unless I
music
get a
every
really, really...
So folks, you got to tune back in so you can keep hearing what
Yeah.
musical selections Jeff adds.
Of course, it's also possible that Kevin could contact me between shows and tell me don't do that.
No more.
But hey, as I said, we're not being compensated for this, so if he could just tell me, just don't play, don't even mention pilotedge.net SimVenture, just don't do it. So
I'd like to hear a few airplanes going past. By the way.
Oh,
That'd be nice.
Good idea. You know what? Maybe if Captain Nick has time, I'll send him the file, and he can make his version. This would be fun.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah,
it'll be
great.
Captain Nick's version of SimVenture 2023.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. Kevin, you're probably going to regret having us involved in this in any way whatsoever, but that's what you get.
Too late
with
now.
APG. Yeah. All right. And I think that is everything. Excuse me, the beer is talking. My bad. I think that's everything I was going to talk about for this show. So, Steph, what have you been up to?
When was the last time I saw you guys? I was here last week. Or no, we
About
did
a year ago.
No, well, it's been a year since I've seen you, Captain Nick, but
True.
Jeff and Nixie and I got together and chatted a little bit the other week. That was last week, right? I can't remember anymore. The days all run together. Yeah, over the weekend, gosh, what did I do this past weekend? I have to think for just a moment. The weather was actually pretty nice on Saturday. It was not my weekend to fly, but I was out at the drop zone anyway, and did a couple of jumps while I was there. So that was fun, just hanging out with friends and enjoying their company. Enjoying some nice weather for a change, because the weather has not been great, especially on the weekends, at least here in the southeastern United States. And I actually did fly a little bit that evening because we had night jumps scheduled because it was a full moon. The only problem with doing night jumps in June is that in order to have it be a night jump, you have to take off an hour after sunset per the USPA, United States Parachute Association's guidelines. And that happens quite late, like 9:30 p.m. So made for kind of a long day, but I actually ended up flying. I was planning on just doing the first couple of loads there just to maintain my night currency, because the last time I did any nighttime flying and night landings previous to that was right before our previous night jumps, so I could do those night jumps. So I was coming up on my expiration there if I didn't do any night landings. So I kind of jumped in and did that, and then I felt a little bad because some weather moved in and we weren't able to do any more after that. So I kind of bumped the guy who was supposed to be flying the night jumps. But he'd been flying all day, and he was like, it's fine. He has his own airplane. He can go do night currency whenever. He wasn't sad about not having flown all day long, because that does get tiring after a while. And then Sunday, the weather, surprise, surprise, was kind of terrible again. It was overcast and drizzly, and I mostly just hung around the house and tried to get through some of the project list, and I didn't make it very far on the project list as usual, so that will continue. But work has been busy, and I don't know why it seems so much busier than usual, but just trying to handle the volume of things. I think we have a couple new partners joining us here in the next couple of months, so hopefully that'll start to offload some of this extra volume that we've been seeing.
Well, I think that it's probably busy because they heard that you were there, working there, and they just become more and more popular.
Yes, that's it. No, that's not it.
It's got to be it, I'm thinking.
So.
Okay.
But
well.
yeah, I don't have a whole lot else beyond that. I am supposed to fly this weekend. The weather looks good, so hopefully that will...
We're just happy that you had time to join us today.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll fly this weekend. We'll see what happens with this congestion stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of woke up 3:30 in the morning with like the back of the throat feeling sore, and for me that's usually a telltale sign of post-nasal drip.
Yep.
So jumped up and kind of took a decongestant, some water, and one of those lozenges that has a little bit of
zinc.
Like a anesthetic in it. So
okay.
Like lidocaine or benzocaine to kind of
Yeah.
numbs that up. And I was actually thinking that it was just a reaction to all the smoke that's in the air here at first, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see how this kind of progresses. But
Yeah. Nip it in the bud.
yeah, try and get rid of it as quick as possible. But
Yeah.
having talked all day, on top of all of that, I'm kind of losing my voice.
Well, quit talking.
I know, right?
All right. It's time for us to talk about coffee and a fund associated therewith.
Johnny, how much more coffee?
No thanks.
No thanks, I'll have beer. Coffee, I love tea, I love the APG community. Coffee and tea, and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Oh yeah. Coffee Fund, your way, dear listener, to support the show in a financial way, if you have the financial resources to do that. And we really, really appreciate all of you who have done that in the past, are continuing to do it now, because it does make a difference. It really shows us that, people are getting value for what they're listening to. And it's just kind of a way to kind of make this kind of yours as well. So if you want to support us financially, there are a couple of different ways to do it. One is the Airline Pilot Guy Show Classic method, which is essentially a PayPal donation site. And Mazoots, Kareem, Dr. Kareem, in the UK, came in again. He always does every month, and he supports us very generously. We do appreciate that, and I look forward to meeting the doctor, hopefully, when I'm there in July. And, I met him at Brooklands, yes, for sure. But I hope to see him again, because, once is just not enough when it comes to Dr. Kareem. So the other way to participate in the Coffee Fund is to become a patron of the show via patreon.com. And that's kind of, a lot of people are, kind of not doing the patron thing anymore, and then we have some that kind of fill in for them, but in general we're kind of on a downward slope, and I'm hoping it's not because the quality of our show is going downhill. It just might be part of the economy, the inflation and all that kind of stuff, but whatever it is, we appreciate the fact that people are patrons of the show. So if you want to check out any of those mechanisms for joining the Coffee Fund cadre or the Coffee Bar Club, head over to airlinepilotguy.com, our website, /coffee. You'll be glad you did, and we will too. Oh, that didn't fade out very well, did it? Oh well. Okay, we're not going to feedback. We're going to go to some news that we set aside for our host, Dr. Steph. And now that she's here, let's go to which one? Number letter D, 1D. Okay, this is from fox43.com. Ah, there's a video. So let me get the video set up. I should have been doing that while I had a chance, but didn't think about it. Let's see. Is this the Pennsylvania crash? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I just put it up there, or is that your... Oh, okay.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Marshall Keeley. We're still following breaking news out of York County where a small plane has crashed on a Pennsylvania Turnpike exit ramp. And right now, there's still a large police presence at the scene of the crash at the West Harrisburg interchange there. Fox 43's Matt Kleindens is live at the scene in Fairview Township. And Matt, they're starting to move the plane there.
Yeah, that's right, Marshall. As you can kind of see right behind me, I'm going to let my photographer Marvin kind of show the scene right now. They brought in a crane and they've attached the crane to the plane. They've actually moved the plane, which crashed into a box truck, off the box truck. It's kind of in between those trees right there, as Marvin is trying to show you right now. But again, crews are still trying to clean up what was a plane crash that happened just off of exit 242 of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Now, a spokesman with the PA Turnpike Commission confirms a Cessna 180 plane crashed around 2:30 this afternoon. That plane hit a maintenance truck, like I mentioned earlier, at the Harrisburg Turnpike interchange. 2 people were inside the plane at the time of the accident. One person was airlifted to the hospital while the other was being treated at the scene. We spoke with one woman who said she saw the plane moments before the crash.
It was definitely a shock of to see the plane so low, because it could have hit anywhere. It could have hit where we were, and then that would have been a whole catastrophe.
Now, the spokesman with the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission says the people in the box truck that were involved in the accident were not injured during that crash. Now, according to the flight tracking software FlightAware, this plane took off from Cumberland, Maryland around 1:45 this afternoon and crashed around 2:30 today along the Harrisburg interchange. That plane, after checking and running the serial number on the tail of the plane, is owned by a man who lives in Hummelstown. Again, right now, both ramps for the Pennsylvania Turnpike remain closed at this time, and it is unclear when they will be reopened. Stick with Fox43.com and Fox 43 News as we get more information about the situation going on at this moment. Reporting live from Fairview Township, York County, Matt Kleindens, Fox 43 News.
Thank you, Matt. Nice report. So, the airplane took off. What is it, at 45? It was a 45-minute flight.
Yeah, out of Maryland, so not
Yeah.
terribly far away. I don't know where that was in Maryland. I didn't get a chance to look, but I was kind of looking at where that was along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and they said I-83. That's actually right next to it, or at least very close to the airport in Harrisburg, Capital City Airport. So I'm not sure if that was their intended destination or if they were going elsewhere. There wasn't a whole lot of information there about what.
He kind of mentioned that
forced landing, or
the pilot was kind of from. It sounded like a local.
It sounded
town.
like the owner. So the owner of the aircraft. I don't know who was actually flying the airplane.
Oh, okay.
The name that was mentioned in the article, because one of the I think there were 2 people in the airplane at the time of the crash, and one of them actually did sadly pass away. And the name that he mentioned that was the owner was not the name of the person who passed away. So,
okay.
But that person was from Harrisburg. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about what happened they didn't give a lot of information about the events leading up to the crash. The eyewitnesses' statement was not overly helpful in figuring out what was going on.
But the eyewitness had a cute dog, you know.
A cute
that she
dog,
was holding.
and I agree. You know, if the plane had crashed closer to her, definitely a catastrophe.
Yeah, it would have
for
been
her.
bad.
Forget about the catastrophe for everyone else involved. But
yeah, just pilots.
Yeah, and box trucks.
What I noticed, Steph, and I think you'd agree that in that video, the airplane looked pretty intact.
Relatively
in fact,
intact.
I was kind of surprised that there was any injuries or fatalities in this, but I guess if it hadn't been for the box truck that they plowed into,
maybe it would have had a different outcome, a more successful one. So I'm not sure if they actually, they were right on the interchange and the ramp there, which a lot of overpasses and curves and things, probably not ideal for trying to get in between traffic, merge with traffic to land.
Probably, not ideal. That would be a good way to put it. Yeah. So. All right. Yeah. So that's all we have no idea.
Yeah, don't really know other details.
Doesn't sound like it was fuel starvation because it sounds like he was, trying to find a good spot.
I don't know. I mean, hard to say. What other type of engine issue they were having.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's another video I guess I need to load up. Sorry, I had to take a quick break, a physiological break while that video was playing.
So that quart of beer will get you.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite there. I'm maybe like a half a quart in to, which is probably entirely too much, but let's just not talk about it. This next one we're going to talk about, Liz, is the Buffalo one, I think. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is kind of more like B-roll that we're going to play. So feel free to play it any time when I'm talking about this news item, Miss Liz. So this is from WIVB.com. And it starts off by the headline, "You don't expect to see a plane coming apart in the air." That's so true. 2 killed in small plane crash in Orleans County. Orleans County. The FAA is investigating a small plane crash in Orleans County that killed a pilot and a passenger over Memorial Day weekend. Sunday evening, Howard Dix heard a strange noise outside while near his barn. When he looked up, and he saw a small plane break apart in the sky. And again, you don't expect to see a plane coming apart in the air. I thought people jumped out of it like the parachute because there was a separation of stuff from the plane, and it took a few seconds to realize that wasn't what was happening. I just knew it was going to be bad. 2 people were killed in the crash in Ridgeway on Sunday evening, according to the Orleans County Sheriff. They were later identified as 70-year-old Earl Luce Jr. of Brockport and 72-year-old Rochester resident Morris Wortman. Luce was the pilot. He and Wortman were both pronounced dead at the scene. Let's see. We do know that part of the plane on the east side of the road, probably at least 1,000 or 1,500 yards from the plane, was discovered. So it appears the plane came apart. The plane was an experimental homemade plane, a very small plane. And the Orleans County Sheriff's Office says a preliminary investigation shows that the aircraft's wings became detached from the fuselage and fell to the ground, landing in an orchard. I think we show that in the video. I don't know if you recognize that airplane stuff.
I just searched the registration to see what it is. It says it's a 1937 or 38 Whitman Buttercup Model W, maybe?
Oh,
or CN,
a Buttercup.
Like Buttercup, yeah. I have never seen one of those before, but
I haven't either.
The first thing that comes up is the EAA's website, Experimental Aircraft Association, and it talks about the Whitman Buttercup. So.
Well, and in the video that we were showing here, which we'll have a link to in the show notes, it shows what appears to be the wings in a field or on a road or a ravine or something. I don't know. I can't tell. Like a row of trees.
Kind of like an
I'm wondering if maybe they tried to pull too many G's or something in the thing, or just had some kind of a
I don't know.
issue
So
with the
there's,
spar.
there's other, there have been other instances. There was a fairly prominent one. Was it with a Cherokee in Florida where it was a student and
Warrior,
instructor
I
in the
think.
pattern? What's that? A Warrior. Yeah, it's a Cherokee model, Piper.
Yeah.
That was fairly prominent a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the school there, Embry-Riddle.
Embry-Riddle.
Yeah, that school, big school. One of their airplanes, Daytona Beach. Yeah, yeah. So I guess it's not uncommon.
It's uncommon, fortunately.
It's
but
uncommon.
It's not unprecedented. That it's certainly
it happens.
Has happened once before, but hopefully proper maintenance and care and design and construction and all of those good things prevent this type of thing from happening.
And it said that like he was giving rides to people. I hope that whoever just decided to get in the airplane for a ride wasn't one of the fatalities.
No idea.
Yeah. Sad. Okay.
So, 2 sad stories in a row. Jeez.
So this kind of involves more of your bailiwick.
Yes, and a
Miss
happier
Steph.
story, actually. So
Yeah, it is a happier story. You want to go ahead and just read it
Sure.
from the top?
So this is from, where is this from? AOPA?
It's AOPA.
AOPA, okay. So FAA removes more aeromedical barriers for mental health concerns. And this just came out earlier this week. It says pilots who are taking an antidepressant will no longer have to, and there's actually a asterisk that I'm going to put next to that because we'll read through this and we'll tell you exactly what that means. There's a lot of antidepressants out there. But pilots who are taking an antidepressant will no longer have to undergo routine follow-up neuropsychological evaluations in order to continue flying, the FAA's Office of Aerospace Medicine announced on May 31st. As part of its efforts to ease mental health barriers for pilots, the agency also approved the use of another antidepressant medication, Wellbutrin XL. Okay, I was misreading that earlier. But the announcement comes less than a month after the FAA Federal Air Surgeon Dr. Susan Northrop said the FAA would be reducing aeromedical barriers for mental health concerns. The FAA reviewed a decade's worth of data before removing the requirement for routine follow-up neuropsychological evaluations. The FAA estimated that this change will help save pilots approximately $3,000 a year in evaluation costs. The agency also updated its guide for aviation medical examiners to allow pilots to be treated with bupropion, commonly known as Wellbutrin XL. This is an important step because it provides a path for more pilots to receive treatment for their mental health condition and still be medically qualified to fly, the FAA said. AOPA supports the FAA's continued evaluation of mental health treatments to remove potential barriers to flying and encourage pilots to seek the help they need for their mental health. That's a lot of help.
Welcome to reading news articles that have
errors in them.
Yeah.
Let me read that one again. AOPA supports the FAA's continued evaluation of mental health treatments to remove potential barriers to flying and encourage pilots to seek the help they need for their mental health, said AOPA President Mark Baker. Wellbutrin XL is an antidepressant that is prescribed to treat major depressive disorder and seasonal affective disorder. The agency said it is reviewing additional medications for possible approval. The agency also announced that AMEs can upload supporting documentation directly to the FAA. This will help physicians manage the volume of cases more efficiently while also providing greater transparency for applicants. AOPA has called on the FAA to modernize its approach to working with pilots with medical conditions that still allow them to fly safely. Earlier in May, Northrop said that the FAA would be adding 7 selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, medications to the list of approved medications for pilots. 4 SSRIs have been approved for use since 2010. AOPA will continue to provide updates on the FAA's approval of mental health medications, as well as steps to overhaul the medical certification process.
So, we have talked about this quite a bit over the past several years on the show, and how much of it's such an issue for a lot of people, especially people who are younger who get prescribed various drugs and stuff for various
and
conditions.
often before they really have a clear idea of where their career path is going to take them. I think so. Certainly things for depression, but also especially medications for ADHD are problematic, because there was definitely a period of time where it was, we'll just call it more in vogue, to put kids on all kinds of stimulants for their ADHD. And those are medications that if you've ever taken them, they can prevent a significant hurdle to getting a medical. So
Yep.
there's definitely updates that are needed. We've talked about this a lot. I'm glad they're actually taking some action and steps to chip away at these things because there's a lot of them. I think there's always going to be a lot of barriers in terms of really making sure that, not just applying broad categories to everybody, treating everybody as individuals, but also having, you still need those guidelines, right? To make sure that you're catching things that need to be basically take a good close look at, make sure that it's not a barrier, and then approve things on an individual basis.
Yes. And it's an important thing to note that one of the most important drugs out there in aviation, especially aviation podcasting, is go-around-a-cillin. And apparently it's still under review and has not
Still
been
under
yet
review.
approved.
There's a lot of stomach cramps involved. So.
Yeah, very severe.
We're trying to get past that.
I can vouch for that.
We're sorry.
It's all right.
And I was looking so feverishly to find the go-around-a-cillin sound effect. But you know what? While I was looking for that, guess what I found?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Pretty well done.
Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
So that will be in the audio podcast.
Well done.
When I do
Excellent.
the post.
I think anything that we can do to streamline some of these processes, even when conditions are caught or thought to be in need of more evaluation and scrutiny, there should still be a faster pipeline to get those things worked through.
Sounds like things
More
are
cost
improving,
effective.
though.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah. Just like the NOTAMs thing, because NOTAMs, of course.
That's what NOTAMs are. They're just a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Liz is making fun of my finding sound clips. That's one that's on my Stream Deck console here. The ones. It is a
like
favorite.
so the easy find, the ones that
That's
you
a
don't
good
even
thing.
have to search for.
Exactly. Like.
Jingles doesn't care.
That's what she said.
Come on, man.
All right. Is it feedback time? Okay. Let's do some feedback then. What do you guys think?
Yay.
You doing okay, Nick?
Hey.
You need to go to bed yet?
I can stick around for half an hour.
Okay. So let's continue then. Quickly. 3. Feedback from Sam. The bumper? Oh, feedback bumper. Yes. I'm going to play the bumper. Of course I will. Liz? Why would I forget to do that?
Captain, incoming message.
So Sam writes in with this very interesting feedback title, Sam Bolog, and the title of his feedback is, "How do they pack that fudge?"
I'm not sure I want to know. That's fine. We can just.
I'm not really sure that we should talk about. Oh, wait a minute. He is referring to when Captain Nick and I were talking
now I
about.
really don't
I blame it on me.
It's a pastry. It's a pastry thing. About the Airbus A380 and the fighter jet, and the captain of the A380 came back and said something about a chocolate filled pastry. And so we kind of went, well, I'm not sure, and he said, the pastry, as far as I know, is a chocolate eclair. And so I'm thinking, or eclair, sorry. So hang on.
I'm only making fun of you because he included a thing that gives the preferred pronunciation. Eclair.
Oh, did I? Where?
Pronunciation.
Oh, eclair. Okay, I see it now. You guys just shut up.
In the middle.
You guys are
Fairly
being mean.
front and center.
You guys are so mean to me. Mean. So I should not have added this. I did that. I did this.
Oh,
just
you
to
did
help
that. You included
in
it.
this discussion. I'm the one that put this here from Wikipedia. And the éclair, is a long French pastry made from choux pastry, filled with.
It's like the thing you put on your foot.
No, that's
Choux.
not that kind of choux. It's a CHOUX.
Yeah,
filled
choux
with
pastry. Yes,
pastry, cream, or custard, and dipped in fondant icing. Did I say that right?
Fondant.
Damn it.
Fondant.
Dang it. The most popular éclair is probably the chocolate éclair, which is topped with chocolate fondant. Fondant,
yes.
I think we're giving him a complex.
Chocolate like coating and filled with chocolate custard or pastry. No, okay, so I'm not going to read any of this.
Ours
I'm
aren't
just going
filled with chocolate custard.
Every éclair that I've ever had has been like a pastry with a chocolate icing or frosting on top, but the inside, the filling, has always been like a white cream kind of filling. That's my experience.
Well, we normally get them with fresh cream, but you can have creme anglaise. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
Can I get some
anyway,
frosting on mine? Is that an éclair?
No.
Or is that
Anyway,
just a Dunkin' Donuts treat?
I don't think they're talking about an éclair at all. I think they're talking about a pain au chocolat.
Ah, oui. There we go. So, what I want to know is why we're even talking about it. That's really like
I know something. I'm starting to feel hungry.
Sam, thank you. This is from the next one from Texas Anlashock. The ones who made it possible. I don't know what he means. I don't know when you'll be getting to this. Probably never. We actually got to it. But as I write this, it's the 27th of May. Oh, this is pretty quick. That was not about a week ago or so.
You've done good, Jeff.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be. Yeah, Texas Anlashock is being quite snarky. What significance does that make? Well, it happens to be the day one of the most famous hunts in military history came to an end. Yes, the 27th of May was when the infamous Bismarck was finally sent to a watery grave. Why am I bringing this up? Well, Texas, we are all wondering why.
Yes, right.
Well, as we all know, one of the key moments in that chase was when the Swordfish torpedo bombers of the carrier Ark Royal, or would it be Royal?
Royal.
Wait, every time he hits the buzzer, though, he takes a drink of his beer. I'm a little worried about this game.
Well, it's a drinking game he's playing.
You missed that part.
Every time he mispronounces something, he has to drink.
I think everybody should. There we go. Okay, are we ready to proceed?
Nice.
Okay. So one of the key moments in that chase was when the Swordfish torpedo bombers of the carrier Ark Royal managed to cripple Bismarck's steering, leaving her no other choice than to sail directly into the teeth of the Royal Navy. I know it's Royal Navy.
I don't know about that. I think they just went around in circles. I don't think they sailed into any teeth, but there you go.
Well, that's not as interesting a story, Nick, so let's don't say that. Okay, it didn't come without mishap, though. When the planes found a target, they swooped in for an attack, only for it to turn out that they were attacking the HMS Sheffield.
Yes, that rather upset them.
Okay, so wait, let me get this straight. Were these British pilots flying these?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
They're pilots, not part
but British
not familiar
Navy
with
pilots.
Yeah, you think they'd have
Navy
better
pilots,
ship
not
knowledge.
at all. Not at all
Navy
familiar
pilots.
with British naval vessels. Being
course
naval
not.
pilots.
Anyway, fortunately for all involved, the torpedoes all detonated well short of the ship due to faulty magnetic detonators, saving the ship from a tragically ironic doom and saving the Swordfish from attacking an actual target with defective weapons. They flew back to Ark Royal, rearmed, and took back off. Meanwhile, Sheffield had settled back to shadowing Bismarck when those blasted planes came back with new torpedoes. I'm sure Sheffield was thrilled to see them again. The plane signaled down, "Which way?" Sheffield says, "That way." The swordfish goes that way, don't find anything, come back this way and ask, "Which way?" Sheffield answers, "That way. Now, get those torpedoes out of here. You're making me nervous." This time they find the right target and deliver the fateful blow. Now Bismarck sails into the waiting trap and begins her final stand. Amid the mass of fire and flying steel that portion of the Atlantic becomes that evening, the swordfish come back with more torpedoes. They inform the fleet they are ready to attack and are told, "No." No? Seriously? No. The Royal Navy was not going to let a capital ship be put down by these annoying flying things and their oversized torpedoes. Bismarck was going to be sunk by battleships, damn it. But we lugged those torpedoes all the way over here. Couldn't we just... No. There's too much shell fire in the air. But you could just cease fire for about a minute or so. Out of the question. And so the swordfish had to watch sullenly as the battleships of the Royal Navy claimed the glory of sinking Hitler's vaunted ruler of the ocean, and then had to lug those torpedoes all the way back to the carrier, no doubt commiserating at each other about being denied their last shot at her, with something like, "If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have even caught her." So anyway, on this day, the Fleet Air Arm made it possible for Bismarck to be caught, only for those sluggish battle wagons to hog all the glory. Until next time, this is Texas and LeShock signing off. Yeah, he always elucidates a lot of aviation history. Now, Captain Nick, I'm sure you have a thing or two to say about this.
Oh, I think it's an extremely... In fact, I think the quotes are taken exactly from what the pilots were said. They weren't the least bit relieved that they were going to be given a chance to avoid entering the lethal anti-aircraft fire that the Bismarck was capable of putting up. They weren't... Yeah, they were totally happy
yeah.
to avoid that. Yeah, I think it's great. Marvelous chaps. The thing was that swordfish was ill-equipped to attack a damn great big battleship. And it was only because they went so slowly and the Germans either couldn't deflect their weapons enough or they were fusing their shells for aircraft that they were expecting to come in much faster that they survived at all, but there were still a number of losses. Yeah. Anyway, the Navy sank it because I mean, a Royal Naval aircraft is just an extension of all the other weapons available to the Navy. So I don't think they would have had that much more kudos if it had been sunk by a swordfish as opposed to a battleship.
I moved away from our screen for a moment, but is Jeff frozen or is it just me?
I don't know. He looks very still. I might point out, though, that the Fleet Air Arm, that flying division of the Royal Navy, had their moment at the Battle of Taranto, which they celebrate still today, to this day, with usually a big mess dinner. And the dessert is often created to be a replica of the Battle of Taranto, made out of jelly and ice cream and whatever, and they all have fun dipping their faces in that, I'm sure.
Interesting.
That's when the Royal Navy sank half the Italian Navy that were in harbour overnight because they didn't go out at night because they didn't have any radar and were worried about bumping into things.
Things that go bump in the night in the ocean.
Yeah, whereas the Royal Navy had a lot of radar, so they were quite capable of firing at night.
Excellent, excellent.
Anyway, where's Jeff gone?
I don't know. He, I guess his internet has decided to fail him again. I'm not sure. He hasn't messaged. So.
Last time this happened, he had a power failure, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
What's,
I would
what's
expect his
Liz
phone would
saying?
still work, though, if he were...
Just talk to Jeff. He doesn't really know what's going on, but he's trying to get back. So just vamp for a little bit, will you?
Can we cover the next story
yeah,
then?
keep
I'll go to
going.
bed?
Yeah, keep going.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Where we
I
got
can read
to?
it? Number 5.
Do you want to do it or shall I?
Sure. I'll go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
So actually, it's addressed to you, but I'll read it here. This is from Andrew Martz, who is in our chat room at the moment. So thank you, Andrew, for
All
sending
right.
this in.
Excellent.
He says, "Hi, Captain Nick, and everybody else." Thanks, Andrew.
Well, there you go.
I have a response to the
She's
United...
got that bit right.
I have a response to the United Fleet nose number feedback. I don't think I was there for that feedback. I've known of this website that tracks the entire United Airlines fleet and logs tail numbers and fleet, quote, nose numbers. It also tracks paint livery status, cabin layout and renovations, Wi-Fi status, and of course the ever important and rare Channel 9. Since you took an interest in how United numbers their planes, I thought you would find this interesting. And he gives the link to the website, and that is from Andrew Martz. And
I had a look at that, Andrew, and it wasn't able to answer the questions I was posing, which was what elements of that number, how do they devise the elements of those numbers? In other words, part of it obviously is from the aircraft registration, understood that, but I didn't understand how the rest of the numbers in the nose number, how they created it. Was there a pair of numbers for the fleet, and did that change at all, and et cetera, et cetera. So thank you very much indeed for finding that website and pointing me in that direction, but I wasn't actually able to gain any more information.
There was another feedback that we had, and I think you guys might have already gone over it with regards to that one, or maybe not. I'm not sure.
Not yet.
But like you said, the and the nose numbers, those are those aircraft numbers, correct? So like all the 319 start with 4 or 40, and then they seem to be numbered in order.
Yeah, the confusion for me was that some of them started with 20, some of them started with 24.
Yeah.
Yet they're all 777-200s. So
4,
I didn't quite understand why there was a difference. It didn't answer all the questions, but it wasn't really for my benefit. I don't have a lot of interest in the United nose numbers.
You don't care about the
It was for the
minutia
chap
of
who
aircraft.
wrote in, with the model, wondering what that number represented. Well, we know it's a nose number. There you go. We know Sam's Bolog has a nose number of one of the very first 777s, but we didn't know what how they came up with that number.
How they were devised.
So keep working.
Well, thanks for
Andrew.
Yes, thank you, Andrew, and so I'm not good here, huh?
You're not
You're a little
100%. Yeah, a little broken.
Well, I don't know. My hotspot that I had hardwired decided to just stop. Are you guys still hearing me?
Yes,
Yeah,
but you
occasionally.
freeze from time to time, and then we're not sure if you've stopped talking or if it's just a cut, like it cuts out.
Okay, let me check something here because it's saying that my AT&T hotspot is run out of bandwidth, but no, that I just paid for another month's worth. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was okay.
I don't know when I'm frozen. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
not.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
Well, it's getting pretty close to my bewitching hour, so I'm just going to let
I think you should take
guys
off.
sort it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
He's
bailing
like,
out.
This is my cue.
perfect,
He's bailing.
perfect moment.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nick.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Leave me with some ideas for a show title, and I'll chat to you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I got
Sleep
an
well.
idea for your show title.
I hate to think. Bye, everybody. Thanks very much.
Good
See you,
night,
Nick.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, there's no way I could have gone through that much.
Are you? I don't know when you're.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't know when you're talking or when you just like.
Well, so
When you're frozen
Liz
or when you
is-
just stop talking.
Yeah, Liz is just like calling in on. Can you hear me on Skype, Liz? Well, it says that I should be able to hear her, but doesn't hear me.
I know.
Oh, it's all falling apart. Yeah, it says that.
I can hear you on Skype, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't answer me.
I did answer you. I was answering you.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, I
you
didn't
can't
hear
hear
you.
her.
You know what, Jeff? Maybe we should pack the whole thing in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This thing has crashed, and
I am not
I need
available.
to figure out what's going
well,
on.
We could figure out a part 2 if you wanted to cover some more feedback later in the week.
Nah, I'm
Nah.
just gonna come back.
Just have a.
Say, hey, this whole thing was a huge plane wreck, and the NTA is on scene to do the investigation. And I don't know why my AT&T plan has run out of
Data?
bandwidth.
Bandwidth?
Um,
or like, is it data?
It says, yeah, it says 50 is remaining. And I'm thinking, well, it just was like the 27th of May that renewed this thing. So weird's going on. All right.
It definitely, it's weird. It's like it drops like a couple words every once in a while. And your picture's all frozen most of the time. Uh-oh.
Toward the end, and Soch Meads and
You're just.
Do you want me to do the social meets?
Yeah.
yeah, do the Soch Meads.
All right. Let's see if I can figure all this stuff out here. So
Okay.
at the end we'll just pretend like this is the normal end to the show. And like Jeff was saying, stay tuned next week for the full report from the podcasting division of the NTSB to figure out what the heck happened here. But if you'd like to learn more about the show, you can go to our website. That is airlinepilotguy.com. All kinds of information there. You can go to the link at the top where there's a drop-down menu with all of the information on how to contribute to the coffee fund, find show episodes, Plain Tales, our library managed by Tiffany. You can find the link to join us when we record the show live. So good stuff there. You can also find us on social media websites. We are on Facebook. That's facebook.com/airlinepilotguy. Or head over to Twitter. We are at APG Crew, and you can find our individual Twitter handles pinned to the top of the page there. Captain Nick likes to post our weekly artwork on Instagram. We are also APG Crew on Instagram. And if we can make this work, I don't know if Hillel is able to access Jeff's flagging bandwidth to give his report from the shower.
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
Over to Hillel.
Go in there for a while, Captain.
Oh.
For
hang
Slack.
on. Q.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and Plain Tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com, or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks, Hillel.
Sorry, Jeff, I might have used all your skin lotion.
I know. Thanks, Steph, for...
Does he ever replace any of the stuff that he...
No. No, he just waits for me to come back from a trip, and then I just grab all the skin lotion and
All the stuff out of the
shampoo and
hotel.
conditioner
Yeah.
and soap that I can
You know,
find.
some hotels have gotten smart now, and they just leave it like bolted to the wall in the.
I know, and I'm
shower.
thinking, okay, how do I outsmart them? Maybe take an empty container.
Bring your own empty containers.
I think if you can still hear me,
Yes, it's
improved
somewhat,
I
yes.
heard it was something somewhere that I read that a airline pilot, a long-time career pilot like myself, had a discussion with their family, and basically they said that they thought that, I guess they did some kind of an overnight at somebody else's house that were not in the aviation world, and they said, you would not believe this, but they had like huge bars of soap and huge bottles of shampoo.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen that.
Anyone who's lived in a household where at least one member travels regularly or stays in hotels regularly just thinks that it's normal to have tiny little bars of soap and like shampoo and lotion and things.
I didn't know that such thing existed.
Yeah. Mutant soap.
Or to just have a big basket full of all the tiny little soaps. You know.
I have to say, 90% of the soap that I've used in shampoo, well, not so much the shampoo, but definitely the soap, has been hotel soap. So thank you, hotels, for your contribution to my life. And everybody else thanks you as well. And we also want, as far as if we're still on, we'd like to thank Liz, our producer.
I'm here.
Thank you so much for
welcome.
trying to keep this all on the rails. I know that's kind of a tough thing.
Technical
to do.
issues that happen.
Yeah, tech issues definitely happen, and I do apologize for that. And somehow I'll cobble all this together and make it sound reasonably good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We'll see. But yeah, so we're going to put all that feedback that we didn't get to in today's show onto the next show. And we want to thank you for listening, and thanks, Steph, for coming along, even though you're not feeling well. And
always happy to be here.
Yeah, I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
And with that, we're going to wish all of you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care, and God bless.
Cheers, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Yay.
Yay.
I guess it's sort of recovered there at the end.
Yeah, no, you were good at the end.
It looks good at the end. Yeah, it's been
Turn
good
your
for the past.
recorder off, Jeff.
All right, hang on. I'm
2
trying to
minutes or so.
find it. So how long was the show? It was not
I think it was somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours. So
good.
So that's not terrible.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
No, not bad at all. Okay, I'm going to turn off the recorder.
Night, Neil and everybody else. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Thank you,
guys.
everybody. Sorry about
Thanks,
the
Sam.
tech issues.
I'm not
Stuff
going to
happens.
protest a slightly early end. I was
Yes,
afraid I was going to have to read
definitely.
all the rest of these
No,
feedbacks.
You don't
and
have
my
to now.
voice was like,
you need to get to bed early or whatever you need to do to get feeling better. Turn on the
Yeah.
Starlink. Andrew says, turn on the Starlink, Jeff.
Yeah, well, it's in the trunk of my car, and I'd have to go and drive somewhere probably and get the thing out. It's just
5-hour show.
not
oh,
convenient.
now you're frozen.
Now
again.
you're frozen. Let's end this broadcast.
Yeah, end it now before.
Bye,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.